Get ready, because Banter with Richie B Productions is launching an all-new podcast network. 4 shows, 4 hosts, 1 powerhouse of paranormal and cryptid entertainment all week long. Kick off your week on Tuesdays with the one and only Wojo, host of Home of the Boom. He's diving deep into the world of cryptids, Bigfoot, and the mysteries that shake the woods. Interviews, investigations, and the loudest boom in the cryptid community every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on Wednesdays, prepare to drift into the unknown with Amanda Lombardo, your guide on the Phantom Navigator. From haunted legends to chilling stories from around the globe, Amanda is charting a course straight through the supernatural, plus guests who live to tell the tales. Catch her from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you dare. Fridays get a little darker and a whole lot prettier. Join Sam from Sam's Pretty Paranormal, where makeup meets the macabre. It's Sam After Dark, spooky storytelling, and her fan favorite segment, Cooking for the Dead. Tune in every Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for glam, goosebumps, and all things ghoulish. And every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the flagship show returns, Banter with Richie B Live, featuring Richie B and Wojo. From updates to investigations to wild discussions, this is the core of the network. Raw, real, and always unpredictable. Spend your Saturday evenings with the duo that started it all. 4 nights of content, 4 incredible hosts, cryptids, ghosts, glam, stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. This is the Banter with Richie B Podcast Network.
Good morning. Welcome to Banter with Richie B Live.
Somewhere beyond the beaten path, beyond the whispers in the woods and the stories around the fire, lurks one of the greatest mysteries of our time: Bigfoot. For decades, legends have echoed through the forests, footprints left behind, sightings that defy logic, and questions that demand answers. But this isn't just folklore. This is a call to investigate, to explore, and to uncover the truth. Banter with Richie B isn't just another show. It's a community, a movement, a hub for genuine research, real conversations, and boots-on-the-ground discovery. Every episode dives deep into evidence, expert interviews, field investigations, and the drive to seek what others say is impossible. If you believe in asking questions, if you're ready to get your boots dirty, and if you think the unknown deserves more than just a passing glance, then follow Banter with Richie B. Stay informed, stay sharp, and maybe, just maybe, be the one who finds the truth hiding in the trees.
I love you, baby Jack. I want you guys to keep climbing. I love you, Mama. Bojo's gonna get us out of here because that's what he does.
That's right. Hey, nice meeting you all. Thank you for being on there. And yes, we are home of the boom. Let's go.
Woo! Let's go! What's up? I'm home. Feel like I've been on an adventure. It's okay, buddy.
I'm on daddy duty. Mama gets out of work at 6. This could get very interesting. I won't change the diaper on you, but it could come close.
Anyways, welcome to Banter Richie B Live, baby. Woo! Good to be here. We are worldwide, all over the world, all the time. And growing, I might add. I might add that. I actually may. And I did. Added. Done. Check. all over the world, and it's getting crazier and crazier, man. Did you guys follow this week at all? I talked to Wojo earlier. If you go Saturday to Saturday, every day we were on the air except Wednesday, every day. And two of the podcasts, they went from 9 to midnight. And last night was wild, man, with Bigfoot Michigan Rob and Coley UFO on SNX radio, YouTube channels all hooked up, linked up, collaborations flying around. That's why you see my name down there? I should change the color. You know that? Maybe I should change the color. Can you change the color in the font, Sam? I need to change. We need a bright color around here. You know what I mean? The cranium cracker. I was cracking craniums last night on a 7-foot wall with star people sitting in front of. They're like, ah! What do I do? I don't know what to do. What questions do I ask? No idea. You know, and it's funny because going into it, I knew it was a big stage. And I was just like, you know what, man? Let's just stir the pot a little bit. Let's get these brains working, right? Let's get it flapping, you know? And if you watched it last night, it got a little wild on the side. I just want to say, first and foremost, to Kurt for hooking us up with such wonderful human beings like Bigfoot Michigan Rob and Coley, just amazing people. And, you know, Coley's like us. Coley just wants to help. She's just like, you know, it's, you know, not a gatekeeping as far as research goes, but sharing her space, right? Building a community, right? Loves what we do here, compliments us on a regular bit. Just an absolute great human being. And I'm super psyched. Thank you for that, Kurt. And that's one thing too. You'll be hearing going forward, not just Dark Realm, not just Media Squatch, not just HLO. You're going to start hearing us talk about SNX radio, baby. And Bigfoot Radio, because I'm actually texting with the owner of Media Squatch about that. So there'll be radio stations happening everywhere. It was crazy. The other two, thank yous, the ones that I saw. If I missed anything, obviously my face was in a screen. Wojo was having my back like he does, because we're strangers in a strange land. These people didn't know what to do. You know, one person told me, you know, the dream catcher, a person made it. You know what I mean? I've heard that before. Of all the things to latch on to, as a friend of mine said, to go up that hill and die on it is the dumbest one ever. Sorry, it is. It's a 40-foot elm, 14 to 16 round. It's at the edge of my property. I would have heard the excavator coming in. Trust me. Beep, 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 beep. That's a pretty good impression right there. So, yeah, so that stuff was going on the side, but mostly positive, like 99% just amazing people asking questions, really, really digging what we have, what you guys have. You guys have earned this with us, you know. Yeah, your legs don't hurt like us, but you're out there with your mind blown, too. You know what's going on out there, man. And I got to say, two people, man. What's up, Bogsy? I see you. I see you peeking. You're a matrix. That dude's a goddamn matrix. Good to see you, bro. Benno and Dehu, thank you. Because there were times where I reach in to change the picture and I can see the chat on my right side. And your loyalty just shined through everything, right? You had our backs and out there in a strange land. And I just can't thank you enough for that. Because you know the truth. There is only one truth. I don't stutter when I talk because I'm not lying. You know because you're there. And it was awesome. It was awesome. We're not used to seeing that, you know, and it's like I said on here before, you know, if I'm hanging out with you guys at a bar and someone messes with you, I'm in. Let's go. You know what I mean? Might not have what I used to, but I'm going to try to find it. It's around here somewhere. You know what I mean? But no, just absolutely awesome, man. Yeah, that got weird, Ben. Thanks. But thank you, Benno. Thank you so much. I saw some of the things that you pushed back on and you know, maybe not always geared towards us, but the meaning of it was there for that. And I told you, yes. So, hi, everybody. This is Buppy. That's my Buppy. You can sit in the chair quietly until Mama gets home. All right, no destroying stuff. Send help. I wouldn't mess with Cynthia. She gets attitude sometimes. Cynthia's my doll. Okay, you're going to put her in my grandmother's rocking chair. Ooh. See, I didn't do that for a reason. Anywho, thank you, Bogsy. Love you, bro. Let's get Wojo in here. Let's go down the list. Let's say hello. Let's get it fired up. This is a different type of episode, okay? Maybe we'll ask Arthur about Bigfoot. Why not? Let's see where his head's at. We're on the show, but we're going to start adding some different elements, right? And maybe we'll intertwine with some of the other shows on the network. We don't know. We're going to see how it goes, and it's going to evolve on its own. Yeah, what's up? I got him. He's all right, dude. As long as that gate's closed, and that's fine. All right. Yeah, take him upstairs. Welcome to my home, everybody. The door's going on. It's getting soundproofed, and there'll be a lock. Don't worry. Stay patient. I got upset, but I regulated. I came back later and respectfully made my point. You 100% did, my man. And you were 100% correct. Jackie Howard used to reach for the chair. Listen, bro. He mentions the name. Love you, brother. Jackie Howard, God rest his soul, man. I've been in a few Shalamba Bama ding dongs with that dude out, in a bar room. Yeah, that was fun. After a while, you just kind of grab your drink and watched him go. You finish up. He was a good dude, man. Eating s'mores. All right, let's get Wojo in. Let's get this vibe right. Let's check out what Arthur has to offer. His story is absolutely mind-blowing. It's going to twist your brain cells. And he's calling on you guys. He picked out our audience to come to, and he asked me, can I do a segment on your shows? And then he explained to me how and why. And it took a while to, I know what he was getting at, but I was like, where do I fit that in? But then I'm thinking, man, you guys are all critical thinkers from all over the world. What a smart man to come to you guys, not me, you guys. He wants to meet you guys because he's watched your critical thinking in action, and he wants you to help him. And he's going to ask you, and he's going to tell you a story, or probably a few stories, and we're going to roll with it. All right, let's go. Let's get that guy in here, that Wojo fella. What's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Benno, D-Hoot, Kurt. Boom, boom, boom! And a boom! You guys get 3. Thank you for last night. And how are you all doing there, Cranium Cracker?
The Cracker!
And by the way, Cracker, you get a double boom because last night, man, you killed it. It was so awesome. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You had everybody boggled.
Yeah, and you know me, I don't sweat, and I wasn't sweating, and that's the funny thing. I don't break, and when it got a little rowdy in there, I've never used that card, but I looked at the camera and said, "Listen, man, I don't give a shit what you have to say." I did. I just locked it up and said, "I lost a child. You can't hurt me. I'm bulletproof. You can say what," and I've never said that like that live to a different audience. You know what I'm saying? I've told you guys that, but I said it right to their faces. In other words, shut up. Just go wherever that's welcomed and go do your thing, right? And then I sat there, and then after I sat down, I started ejecting all the hacks and
oh, dude. I mean, D-Hood, I hate to say it, but Richie was pretty hot. He followed your target shooting.
Yeah, well, I learned from I get jealous of D-Hood sometimes out in the woods. You know what I mean? Teflon, baby. What's up? You know what I mean? Absolutely. Tubin, thank you for the compliment. Sam, thank you for the compliment, Benno. Yeah, and you don't know how it's going all the time. But again, it's one truth. That's it. That's all it is. Yep. It's just that simple. One truth. You display it, and the ones that can't handle it just aren't there yet, man. And I said to him, I'll pray for you because you're not on the level yet. That's okay. Pray someday that you get to it. I'm so blessed and grateful to be where I am and to have these things open and they're revealing themselves to us. We've earned that. We've done it with a phone with all you guys on the side. We were told it was impossible. Impossible. No, we're not high-fiving Bigfoot for yet. Right? Who knows? Let's see. Does it stop or does it progress still? Well, I got that in my hand with you guys with me because I'm loyal to you like you showed me loyalty last night. Right there. Yep. Ask Ronnie. Ronnie knows. Ronnie knows how loyal I am. I'm loyal to the death. 100%. My blood is loyalty. Goosebumps.
That's why we don't give a damn because you know what? We put ourselves out there, especially what Richie did last night. There's nothing. There's nothing that's going to slow us down. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I had a hard time standing up straight. My cajoles was so big.
All I heard was a big thud on the ground. Like it just went boom. You're like, oh, you want some of these? Oh, let's go.
Throw them up over the shoulder. No,
Yeah,
this over
exactly.
here. Yeah, no, that was that kind of took a lot of people wouldn't have put that out there like that. But I like I said, I thought about it beforehand, and I said, you know what? I think I felt inside it was the right time to kind of, spread that truth. You know what I mean? And at least get them talking. And I got to tell you, it's been positive feedback ever since. So like Coley is like, she wants us on as a regular collab. You know what I mean? Like a weekly thing, like to come in, and she loves you. Thank God you woke up and came to the show. For anybody that doesn't know, while we're here, Arthur, I'll get you in a minute. I gotta get this part in. I'm here going on sitting down. Bigfoot Michigan Rob's a pretty big name. He's a pretty big dude. He's got a lot of followers, and he has great show, and he's just a great dude, man. Huh? I watched him. Like I watch in the background a lot, and sometimes Kurt or Benno, somebody will see me say hello, but I don't do it a lot. But I'm watching, right? I'm watching. I'm a weirdo. But I'm watching because I'm trying to also learn. I'm trying to understand the people that are out there. So if their names show up, then I can say, okay, that dude's all right, Reading the room, right? Well, I'm sitting there going, all right, this is going to be unbelievable. I got Wojo in. It was supposed to be me. She had asked me. I said, I got my boy, my co-host, man. He's got, kind of got to come with me. And she was like, yeah, of course, So here it is, 9:00. No co-host. We won't talk about the other guy because that's personal reasons. But hi, Lori Ladd. And my co-host is not coming in. And I start dialing the phone and stuff. Yeah, because she's got a wicked long intro. Her intro is like crazy. But that's all right because I like to dance, and I was definitely dancing in my seat. So, Sleeping Beauty. Wojo was out cold. I run upstairs while the intro's going. I'm like, Jess, grab the phone. You got to call Wojo like 100 times. I think he passed out sleeping, man. Because the dude gets up early. We're out in 2 feet of snow looking for Bigfoot for 2 hours like meatheads. And then the dude's got to get on the air at 9:00 at night. It's sleepy girl's time. You know what I mean? You got to put the cucumbers on the eyes and lay back and get his little sleepy sleeps. And I'm over here going, you got to be shitting me. What is happening? But he showed up last minute, right? Right? You made it in there. Did you make it in there before the intro ended? I don't think so. I think we were live on the air when
you were already like on full tilt, like let's go,
Yeah, I was starting to tell my story. Yeah.
I think it was like 9:30. So I don't know.
Oh my God. Mojo's never been late, so it's kind of funny. But I knew he was sleeping. But yeah, Jess just kept calling and calling and calling. So he finally comes in, and I'm just riding him about being late, riding him. But they love you. They absolutely love you, and they love the whole concept of us and everything that we believe in, our research, everybody on the side. They just love the community that we've built, and they just showed nothing but respect all day today. I had messaged Rob and thanked him for his time, and him leaving himself a little bit vulnerable in a moment there as well, and telling his incredible story about Bigfoot. Oh my God, dude, can you imagine that? That's what that sounds like. He was closer than the infrasound I got hit with. So we had different results, right? Think about that. That's two researchers talking. I really feel that could be the case. Now that we know that, if we hear those stories again like that, we can compare notes. It's never been documented, right? And Coley's like, dude, you guys are fantastic. Wojo's amazing. And I'd love you to come on like every week. Would you be interested in doing something like that? And I said, I got a crazy ass schedule with 83 kids. I got to kind of see where that fits in. But what an honor. What an absolute honor. So my point is, we're always going to have those ones that, quick trigger over there flicks off the screen for us, right? Always. It happens, Last night was a little ridiculous with the person building if there's any structure you want to claim is built by a person, the Dreamcatcher is not the one. Just stop. Yeah. Just a full stop. Just cut it out. You sound silly. You sound sorry, but stupid. You sound stupid. It's a 40 to 50 foot elm bent over without breaking, 12 to 14 high at the peak, buried underneath trees, not logs, trees. Nah. Not happening. Just pick on the 40-foot X if you like. Grab yourself a little arch or something. The dream catcher makes you look completely silly. Completely. So that's enough of that. Beat the dead horse. The dead horse is dead again. We're rolling out. We are worldwide on Dark Realm TV, by the way.
Where fear lives.
Absolutely. Media Squatch. Get that app. Get it on your phone. It's for free. Check it out. Not just Bigfoot on that. All kinds of paranormal, all kinds of stuff, man. You got to check out that app. I'm telling you guys, check it out. SNX Radio, Coley UFO. We're going to be linking up with her. She's going to be linking our shows to the SNX Radio. And HLO, all capitals, HLO Media, HLO Outdoors. Check us out over there.
Yeah.
He's got some oldie but goodies running. So let's get rolling. I'm just going to flick through everybody because now that I've talked so long, because I had to get that off my chest, I feel better. We're home. It's like we've been running around all week or something. It's been wild because you got to think last Saturday we had our show. Sunday did I do something Sunday and Monday or something?
Yeah.
I did the back-to-backs, and then Tuesday's your show. Wednesday I took off, but I watched Amanda obviously when I'm playing Fortnite. I always do and have her in my ear. And then Thursday, Daniel Benoit, ECBRO, Bigfoot Zone. That was an absolute incredible sit down. Oh my God, dude. I enjoyed it.
That was fun.
I thought he picked out the great mix of people, right? You have William Nighthawk, who's, the guy's a plethora of information. You can just feel his vibe, right? So he's on that. He's on maybe, I don't want to dumb it down any, but for everybody, to make it layman's terms, he's kind of on the woo side, right? We're kind of in the middle, right? Dave and Melissa are kind of coming up behind us, right? And then you have Nikki, who I think is amazing in a sense that she's of the flesh and blood, and she has her beliefs and set them straight in such a respectful manner, and debated things in a respectful manner. And kudos to Daniel Benoit for putting that on, man. William Nighthawk has agreed to come on the show, by the way, everybody. There's an announcement for you. March is going to be a crazy month, by the way. Bigfoot Rob has agreed to come on the show. Saturday night show right here. Bigfoot Rob. Again, pick a date. And Coley, she didn't really say anything. It was weird, but I'm pretty sure Coley's in. So March is going to be crazy, man. So we're going to learn about these people that have kind of come into our lives recently, right? Grab them up, sit them down, and say, okay, where you at? You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. It's going to be amazing. Let's say hi to everybody really quick because I know let's bring Arthur in to say hi with everybody because he looks bored. Yeah, all right, don't start your shit, Arthur. Here we go. Really, Arthur? Really? At least you got a nice shirt on, Arthur.
Whoa.
And remember the rules. When you have when you have the gimbal hooked up, you don't stand up. It'll aim right at the honey spot. All right? Don't do that because we know you're not wearing pants.
Yeah.
All right? There's a man who follows rules. Welcome out there. We're going to say hi to the audience, and then we're going to get to yourself so everybody can say hi to you. Got to respect those.
Welcome, brother.
Living their best lives. Yep. Let's go. I'm going to go all the way. All right. This place filled in pretty quickly. I was a little nervous. There. I said, where'd everybody go? And then here they are. Let's see the first.
Fast.
Oh,
it's hot. Coming in hot.
Let's see this. All right. Well, look who's first. Yeah, me. I was first. Don't ever let it happen again. That's ridiculous. And I love you. No, Mike Gray, you get the credit tonight. Thank you, my brother.
Hey, Mikey
was in the house. G. Tewksbury. JT's in the house.
JT, blessings.
Yep. Kurt W. What's up, W?
Squirrel.
I already did my. Oh, it jumped. It skips. Why? Oh, because the comments are coming. Can't you just hold it where I am? It's not that hard technology. Brandy Sampson, hold up your cup, please, out there, and let the world know what you're drinking out of. You know you got the GG merchandise. Get over to Brandy Sampson. Yo, reach out to Brandy Sampson, Ghost Girl, and get yourself some kick-ass merch, by the way. I call them the Droopy Ghosts. I don't know what it is. I put them on. I'm like, Droopy Ghost, let's go. I just named them. Don't judge. Right? Oh, and the other good thing is Wojo's not sleeping. He's awake tonight. So, and previously Possessed is on here tonight, and she reached out to me and said,
she reached out to me and said she had to Google what the hell this folly was. Now, I can't tell you how old that makes me feel, previous. But she learned what it was, and she felt I set her straight last night with the Farley thing that I did, and then the combination of a research. Is he still down here, guys? Or is he, no, he's upstairs fighting with his brother. Perfect. All right. Denny-O! That's my boy. I talked about Denny-O last night. I always talk
What's
about
up,
that
brother?
story. That story just melts me.
Yo.
Yep. Look at this stranger. Where's this? Anybody know where this stranger's been? Huh? All hail Boston, right? My boy's fired up for the Patriots.
That's right. What's up, Ronnie?
Patriots tomorrow night. How you feeling about the Patriots tomorrow night? I'm a little worried about it. But I always am, though. I am every game. Now, you think that's a good matchup for us?
Yeah, I think listen, it's going to be a good game, but I think that Pat's going to pull it out. I'm going to say by 10.
Okay. Arthur, any predictions?
As long as the Patriots don't win. No.
Knew that was coming.
That's the wrong answer, pal.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
Take you gimbal, and your pants out of here. Oh my God, look at his face. It's so red.
I had my finger on the trigger. I knew that was coming. I knew it. No, I know. Listen. I got to tell you, I used to argue about the hate. Now let's say they shit on themselves for 5 years. I just love it now. I love it. I want them to win so bad, but I'm like, you know what? They've been in 12.
Yeah.
12. Sit down. Have a good and then they diss Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick for being a dog. Oh, he filmed people from above. Yeah, everybody did. That's so stupid. Oh, the balls were inflated. Shut up. Aaron Rodgers talked about how he had bigger hands, so he liked the balls overinflated. It fit him. So does he get shit on? Right? Isn't that cheating? That's what you're talking about. Oh, no, 0.1 pressure off the ball makes it easier to catch. Shut up. You never played football.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, dude. I was a ridiculous running back. I could catch anything. Dude, a little of air ain't going to do nothing. Shut up. It was a comfort for his hand size. That's what the rule should be. You think everybody's made the same? Come on, man. Ridiculous.
Oh, mama, you're out.
Oh, mama, I can hear
the Pats win over the Hawks.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
World's the best.
We don't need Brady. We got man.
Look at Arthur. Look at Arthur. Look at
Arthur. That was a mistake coming on this show.
I just got to say, you want me to hit the button, Arthur, again?
No, Arthur wants you to keep talking about the balls.
Yeah, true. Sam, there's Sam. Sam's pretty paranormal, best executive producer in the world. BDA's here.
Cornbread mofo.
Yeah, BDA, funny, BDA watched the show last night. Hey, Rich, good job. I really wished you, first of all, I really wished you showed the picture of the aliens. That's what he says to me. Can you say it for me, Andy, too?
Yeah, Richard, can you just show ET for us? They're out there.
Andy, you didn't like the other 50 aliens I showed?
I didn't see them. I just saw Bigfoot.
He just wanted that one picture. That's all he talks about. If he wasn't like a brother to me, I would have told him to fuck himself. You know how much we love you.
How's Arthur doing? Hi, Arthur.
Rich, very nice, Ronald. That's very pleasant of you. Richie could crack any cranium with a bat in his hands. Thank you. Yeah, I'm tough with a bat. That's really kind. He loves the Red Sox. This is Boggsy, man. Boggsy from softball, nasty lefty.
Wade's son.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man. I played a few years with him. I played a lot of ball with him actually in Buzzards Bay and in Carver, and oh yeah, man, we had a lot of fun. He's a good dude. I hope everything's going well for you, brother, down there.
Welcome, Mav. Great to see you, bud.
Let's see. I'm just going to tell you all, don't install the Whatnot album. I'm currently spending over my head in vinyl records. Thank you, Ronald. Sometimes I just got to shake my head. Like this, right? Look at this. I got Nike Hyper Boots for foot recovery. The fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand it. Bigfoot don't listen to vinyl records, and he doesn't wear Nike recovery boots. Nor does the shit Arthur's about to drop on your asses. You better get your aspirin out.
He listens to something, right? I've seen pictures of him having big headphones on.
Yeah, it's on your shirt.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
He listens to something.
He listens to his favorite podcast, right? Our boy Benno's here, and Benno hooked us up with Benno hooked us up with last night too. Him and Kurt were talking us up over there, so we appreciate that, man. Thank you.
He's the man, and Kurt too.
Yeah, Benno said, he goes, I got upset, but I got regulated. I came back later and respectfully made my point. And you dropped the mic and walked away, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Yep.
There's only one truth, and it makes it wicked easy. Tubin, thank you, man. Hell yeah, Richie, that was great. Tubin was in there watching us, supporting us. Thank you, man. We had our people, man. I walked out of there, and we had over 200 something views just walking out of there. You know what I mean? So, the people were there. Lori Ladd, hope you're feeling good, Lori Ladd. I think he was too quick for them. The evidence just kept coming. Listen, we were already at 3 hours when I signed off, dude. I mean, like I said, if you got 5 hours, I ain't got enough time for this. The structure building is a tricky point across Bigfoot community. We knew all of the Yeah, I know that. And that's the thing. I get that, and I'm still sticking to it. And my very first show, when I had 3 local legends about Bigfoot telling me, don't do it, I did it. I don't care. I don't know if you met me before. I don't care. I know what I'm looking at. I know it's not natural. I'm not an idiot. I'm in these places constantly. I know when the wind blows and when the snow falls. Shut it. Relax. And it's so stupid. What a dumb argument.
Yep.
They just like to argue, man. People in general like to argue, right? I mean, look at Arthur. He won't stop. OBR.
I love to argue. I love it. I love confrontation.
Yes. OBR's here. Yeah, I've been on the BMR podcast. The show was over too long. Oh. I don't know what that means. Over too long? It was too long for you? Or too short? Nothing short with me around. As you can see, this opening right now is just an absolute debacle. All right, let's see. TKB, I heard, was in here. Yep, there's TKB.
Yeah, TKB.
I don't want to miss nobody. I love all these people. They're my friends.
Roller Dog's in the house.
Is Arthur still in the Houston area? I first saw him at the same site I first saw you, Richie. Seems so long ago. Yeah, he was out. Yeah, he's still in Houston, and you came in after me, right? Yeah, because I was already in there when you came on, and everybody was talking about you. Oh my God, this guy's what the fuck? I was like, oh, what's he got? I'm not scared. Ron says it's going to be a defensive showdown for sure, but the Pats have surpassed Seattle in defensive rankings. As long as Spillane is healthy, we got a shot. Okay, good. Oh, the balls.
And Ohio Bigfoot Researchers. Great to see you, pal.
Yeah, Mama Bear Claw's here, and we're about ready to get rolling. And Tyler's here, Roller Dog.
Hey, Sherry Baker. Hey, girl. Hey.
Yeah, well, the bat in your hand is a good thing. Where's Sherry Baker? She down here. Oh, Sherry. Hey, Sherry. Much love to Sherry Baker, man. 44, baby.
Boom.
Always.
Bang.
Love you, brother.
Yep. Exactly.
That's right. Elder Medicine Bear Claw is here, and we are going to get rolling with Arthur Mills. If you don't know who Arthur Mills is an author. I think you sent me all your books, didn't you?
I sent a few.
Yeah, I got a few of them around here. I have them in my case. See, my studio is under construction, and I'm almost done, and I get to set things up. So all these things that I get to have displayed, and I'm super pumped about it. And you signed them.
Yep.
You did. I didn't appreciate what you called me, but that's all right.
Truth hurts. No,
that drawing was a little weird. But anyways, Arthur Mills. All right, so this is a dude that I'm going to tell him a little, not get into the details because you're the man to tell that. That I saw his story on that other platform that we both were on. And I remember there was a little bit of a stir when you came in. You remember? Mooncat, what's up? You remember that? There was a little stir when you came in.
Yeah.
And it ended kind of in a bigger stir. You know what I mean? Because what you have going on compares to like what we did last night, live all over the world. it's just so much to grasp, even for myself, right? Critical thinker. When I speak to you, I'm like, wait, what? Remember, we had this whole meeting, you and I, just recently. But when I was an outsider watching, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You know, it was so not crazy. I don't want to use the word crazy because I think that demeans it. It was so complex to the human mind, to the other realms, to the energy, right? To beyond the physical world, that I had to dissect it as somebody who has seen an apparition in his room and has done readings and has, you know, now I'm working with mediums. You know, I had to really grasp your story and break it down. And that's why it took me a while to get back to you, because with all that I have going on in life anyways, 83 kids and all that, when you get those moments of silence, you know, you go through that, you process it, right? And I'm trying to process your story. And it was like the ADD made me keep reading the sentence over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
And the concept that you have is so remarkable. And the audience that you chose to help you is even more remarkable. And I credit all of this to them, to having you here. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm going to ask you first, like I always kind of ask everybody, right? I like to start at the beginning, right? I like to know who's Arthur, right? Who's Arthur, right? So, Arthur, where were you born?
I was born in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Now, you're a veteran, right?
Right. Yep.
Thank you for your service. We always love our veteran brothers here. I was 11 Bravo. I know you're in high intelligence. Don't make fun of me because I was a grunt. I dug holes for you to hide in when they came. Oh, wait, you didn't have to go out anywhere. No, I'm just kidding. But you were in the Army, correct?
Right. Yep.
That is with the letter R in it. I just say it with the Army. Yeah. It's just like 4 A's, a little R than M. That's how it works. Now, when you were growing up in Austin, Texas, you had brothers, sisters, stuff like that. You had a big family.
Older brothers.
3 older brothers.
Yep.
Now, what's the gap though?
So my oldest one is 6 years older, and then the next is 4 years older, and then 1.5 years older.
Oh, so
I'm the youngest.
Were you title with the one that's closer to you?
Not really. No, we fought over friends, over clothes, over food. I mean, we fought. You know, well, we were young, so younger brothers like that tend to fight a lot, and we were no different.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's awesome. So all boys, mom and dad, married, stay together?
It was my mother and a stepfather.
Okay. Yeah, I had one of those too. Yeah, I had one of those, didn't I? Yeah, I did. No, he was pretty good dude. We had our moments. Did you have your moments with your stepfather?
I got along with him, but my older brothers didn't because they didn't. I always assumed that he was my father. I didn't know any different. But my brothers were older, so they knew. But it never occurred to me that my father or stepfather was Mexican, and he was very, very dark because all he did most of his life was pick watermelons. And so he was a real dark Mexican. And I never, I called him Paul, like Ma and Paul. And I never knew.
Arthur.
Yep.
No, you don't have any mirrors in your house?
I do got a few.
Yeah, you didn't realize that baby,
it didn't occur to me.
That's good. Well, you know what's good? Kudos to him because he didn't treat you any different, right? You had a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
That's awesome because, my stepdad and I, very young, we did everything together. And then I had a little different dynamic. 9 years later, my little brother came along, which was his. And that changed the dynamic. I do remember one time we went fishing and he always had he's up in heaven. And, he always had a 5-gallon bucket of old Milwaukee's. And we go out fishing. We're way out on this bog somewhere. And he had one of those little Chrysler Renault things, garbage, right? And we're out there fishing. And I remember him sitting he would get up off the bucket and grab a beer. And he kept doing this. And the sun started going down. I look over, I'm thinking, and I'm fishing a little ways down. And I look over and I'm like, what's he looking at? I go up there. I thought he was looking at something on the ground. He was passed out. Now, no cell phones, nothing like that. I'm like, oh my God, how do we get out of here? That, he's sleeping. I just think he's sleeping because he worked. I didn't put together the booze at that age. But I got him in the car, and I started driving the car to down the cranberry bogs to the street, and he woke up and drove us home hammered. But anyways, a little different than what you had. But no, that's cool. So, but a good home life in general. Your middle class family, like what was it like when you came home from school?
I wouldn't say we were middle class. We were hurting pretty much. We had food on the table and Christmas presents under the Christmas tree. But while most of my friends got the expensive Hot Wheels, and I got the cheap Sears catalog version of the cars, and most of my toys broke by February.
I know. I can relate. Yes.
Yeah. But I had toys though, and we had food. But we parents always shopped HEB, the grocery store down the generic aisle. You remember that, where all the boxes of cereal just said, it was just white with black words that said cereal.
Oh, what was the best generic food ever made? Go ahead.
I think maybe the cereal.
No,
or cheese, maybe.
There it is. Boom, cheese, bro. The cheese was amazing.
Big block of cheese.
You can make a grilled cheese when you go home from school when the parents weren't home because everybody worked. So you got home as a kid back then. You didn't need a parent around. Everybody was just all the kids were running the roost, right? Ruling the roost. Yeah. And you get this thick block of cheese and you cut it and you put it on the. Oh my God, it was the best grilled cheese sandwiches, right? And my brother Russ does. My brother Russ, he said hi on the show a few times and been out with us live. He's in North Carolina. Love you, bro, if you're watching. And he's got a funny name, by the way, Wojo. He commented on one of our lives, and I said something to you about his name, and I just found out today that's my brother. But anyways, I'll text it to you. It was really funny. But anyways, he kept those boxes, and he has every baseball card he's ever gotten in those boxes. Those boxes fit baseball cards in them better than any box. Better than any box they could ever make. Yep. And they're homogenized or something.
Homogenized, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome, right? So now, did you live in an older house, newer house?
At that time, the house was about 45 years old. Mm-hmm. And all the houses in the neighborhood was about that. The only odd thing was right next door was an empty lot. And a house was there, and it burnt down in 1969, but I didn't know that until later. I just thought it was just an empty lot at first, and that was our playground. All the neighborhood kids, a lot of them were my age, others were a few years older, and another big group were about 16, 17 years old, and they became my older brother's friends. So plenty people throughout the neighborhood, but yeah, us younger kids turned that empty lot into our playground.
Really?
How many rooms did you guys have, for you boys?
We had 2 bedrooms, and so the 4 of us end up having just like bunk beds. But for a while, my brother Ricky and I, he's the one that was a year and a half older than me. We shared a fold-out couch that turned into a bed, and that's where we slept. But eventually, my parents got a shed, like a tool shed, and put it attached to the house, and my 2 older brothers just slept in there in the tool shed.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of fun, right?
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So, and you, if I remember correctly, and we'll get to it, there's some history with that lot, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you grow up, you graduate school?
Graduated high school.
Yep. Yeah. You're a smart dude, right? And you actually have a son that's brilliant smart.
Yeah. He's okay. He's a keeper.
Come on, man. You're just mad he's smarter than you. That's what it is. You smart people don't like that shit. Right? Right. Didn't we have this conversation?
Yeah. So he received his PhD when he was 22 years old in mathematics.
Wow. In mathematics.
Yeah. He was a professor at Oregon State University.
That's awesome.
Just left about maybe 4 years ago, and he moved to California to start a new job. So yeah,
That's so cool. No, and I bring that up because it just reminds me of that, because a lot of the smart genes kind of spread down, and that's the kind of mind you're going to get with Arthur as we go forward. It's just mind blowing, and I'm just grateful to have him here. So you go off to the military, any wartime, anything like that?
4 combat tours.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hoorah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, I've had so many friends go through that as well, and yeah, I missed it. Closest I came was on a C-130, full battle rattle, ready to go, and then they all came out with their hands up in Iraq, and they sent us home. And that was that. It seems like it happens quick, but when you're on a C-130 for 24 hours, it's not quick. I still smell it. I still smell it. You know what I'm talking about, right? The smell.
Oh yeah, and the sound. Never.
Oh, dude.
In Afghanistan, I was on the C-130 many times and being fired upon. We have to paint the earth, keep swaying back and forth.
Yeah,
not fun.
Yeah, not fun at all. Not fun. But anyways, thank you for your service in that sense. So tell me, how do you get into and military? You live in a military life, right? Are you writing books before then, during then, or after then? Like, where do the books come in?
Well, ever since like 3rd grade, I wanted to be a writer. It was my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Haddock, was. My school had a weekly writers group where every year, a whole week, you don't do any subject other than write. And that was something that Laura Bush, she was the librarian at my elementary school, and she started that that one weekly writers program. And so I'm writing, and the teachers like reading over my shoulder. She goes, "Oh, you're going to be a famous writer one day," and that just motivated me to do it. But I wanted to write about my life with my brothers and the neighborhood and my friends. And I kept saying, one of these days, I'm going to write it. It wasn't until I got to Korea, and I was there for 4 years, total 6, but this particular time, 4 years. And I was like, okay, I'm not all that busy. I'm not in a combat situation anymore. I go home at the end of the day, I'm going to write. So, and then after that, I got the writing bug, and I started writing and writing. I write in the military, write white papers and other types of assessments. And so I figured, well, I'll just transition to writing novels or memoirs.
Wow.
And that's what you did, right? When did your first book come out?
It came out in, 2006.
2006. How many you got out?
Under my name, Arthur Mills, it's 11, but under different pen names, it's 21.
21.
Wow.
Now, what do you mean by pen names?
So I write under my name, and then I have significantly more popular books that I write under different names. So to hide my identity, because if I could hide my identity, I have more freedom to write. I don't have to hide. I don't have to be careful what I say. I can hide it. It's like,
yeah.
So that's what I do is I write under different pen names.
Yeah. I have fake Facebook accounts, and I make fun of all you guys. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm that guy. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Now that it's out, right? No, so you have a recent book. We'll get. And what's the name of the recent book? We're going to talk more about it, but what's the most recent book you have out?
The most recent came out on the 1st, a week ago, and that's The Legend of Mara Flores.
Mara Flores.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I had told everybody, hey, get over there and help out the route and write some reviews and kind of get it kickstarted. It was over on Amazon for free for a little while. You could download for the Kindle. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that was we got that. We actually grabbed that.
Yeah.
Jessica,
I saw your review, and I appreciate it. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I wrote a very nice review, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
Yeah. I write good reviews. I come off smarter than I usually appear, don't I, when I write a review?
I guess. I mean, I haven't. That's the only one I've seen. So.
Wow, that's terrible, Arthur. Arthur's trying to say is I don't know where to put a comma.
Yeah.
I'm a run writer. It's more adventurous that way, Arthur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really it's awesome. And the book we want to check out, and I'm going to put up the cover of the books, and I'll try to find a few of the other ones, and we can kind of pop them off. But I'm not worried about that because we've been talking about you kind of being a regular thing around here, haven't we?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's essential that you share the story and you ask the audience for their help. And you have a very controversial book, though, right? What's the most controversial book you have under your name?
I don't know. I think they're all pretty much controversial.
Yeah, they really are. But Candleface, let's face it, is the most controversial one you have.
Yeah. So it's a series of 3 books. So you have the Lost Souls book 1, and then book 2, and then the final one is Isabel, which is the final of the 3 series. There could be a 4th. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
If the audience could actually help me determine what the meanings of these 3 other books, then there could be a 4th to put it all together.
Yeah. And
Arthur, how do you find? I'm sorry, Rich. How do you
no.
Like writing these books. Like, I mean, do you shut yourself down at a certain place, like me, obviously your office, and just? I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I don't know if you have dogs, kids running around. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's I sleep maybe 3 hours a day. I'm doing the husband thing throughout the day, and then I write. I'm also going full-time student. It's just tough. It's tough. I got to go to sleep, but that's when I get the messages from the lost souls. So I got to force myself to go to sleep.
Easy now. Don't. Easy.
Yep. Yeah, hold on.
Easy. Hold them back. All right. So no,
that's fascinating. That's fascinating.
Dude, it's mind blowing. So we're got to be focused mostly on the Candleface, I think, as a prelude to where we are, correct?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So why don't we get into the book about Candleface and explain the connection possibly to the empty lot and all that stuff that you have near your home and the things that are happening to you. And I don't know if you remember what I said to you in our meeting. I kind of told you what you were.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Have you made any progress on that theory?
No. But it is in the it's still in my head.
Yeah. And we'll get there. Yeah. Yeah. You just need to verbalize more while you're in that moment. It'll help. That's all I'm going to say. It's like what I do when I'm out in the woods talking. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. And as people, we get kind of stuck, like, what do we do? But you got to be an old pro at it now. So Candleface, who the heck is Candleface?
Candleface. Okay. So Candleface is a ghost that I named Candleface. I mean, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old when I gave this ghost this name. So when you're that young, you can't come up with a really cool name. To me, I called her Candleface because her face melted and it looked like a candle. So that's what I ended up calling her. But, I mentioned that we had that empty lot next door. And that's where all the kids played. And probably, I think one of my friends is actually here listening. So we had this empty lot, and then in the back of the empty lot was this big hole. It went, miles deep, but in reality, it probably only went like this deep. But when you're only kindergarten, it goes up pretty deep. And but the older kids who lived there longer than I did kept saying that if you jump into that hole, the family that died in the fire will haunt you. Especially the little girl. She will come out and haunt you. And I was like, yeah, right. But everybody avoided that hole. Everybody would run around, but avoid that hole. And so I did too. But I'm the runt of the family. I stuttered every single word. I had to do speech therapy for years and years and years, which is weird now because in the military, I was NATO senior intelligence analyst giving briefs to world leaders. So it was really cool that I went from where I can't even say my name to giving briefs, But I avoided that hole and everybody just picked on me all the time. So I was like, I'm going to prove to them something. I'm going to jump in that hole and I'm going to disprove this rumor that there's a ghost family in there.
Yeah.
So one day I jumped into that hole in the middle of the night. Everybody's asleep. I walked in there. I circled around for a little while. Had a little stick with me because I wasn't really sure what's on the bottom of that hole. You know, am I going to fall through? But I jumped in there and it only went up to my waist, and I'm poking this and I was, where are you, burnt ghost? Where are you? This is so full of shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I felt so vindicated, you know, and I wasn't even stuttering when I was saying all this stuff. And so I climbed out, went back, jumped in my bed, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be the star now, the neighborhood. No one's going to pick on me anymore. You know, I'm the one that solved the case, that no ghost in there. But that night, I woke up with a lot of, you know, wind and lightning and thunder, and I had to get some water. So I went to the kitchen, and the kitchen window overlooks that empty lot. And there's a big oak tree there, and everything is swaying. And there's other trees closer that actually scratches against the house, and it, you know, type of sound. And so I'm looking out there, and I think I see something crawling out of that hole. So I go to our back porch, which is a screened back porch, no walls, nothing, just screened. And so I go back there and I see some creature, human-like thing crawling out of that hole, heading towards that tree to climb up, trying to upright itself on that tree. And I'm, you know, trying to be logical. I said, what is that? Is that a raccoon? Is it, you know, whatever, piece of trash, you know, trash bag? Because a lot of people would dump trash in this, you know, mattresses and whatever, all over the place. Dogs barking. A friend of mine's dog starts barking, and that creature thing looks towards me, and we make eye contact. And now it's like trying to walk towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, what's going on here? And so I end up running back and jump into my bed. Now, The Empty Lot Next Door is a memoir of all of those experiences. The book makes it look like it's about 3 months long, but it's really about 6 to 7 years worth of interactions of Candleface sitting on my chest, poking until I wake up for school and I got all these red marks. Was I doing this to myself? Maybe, you know, I don't know. But if you see the cover of the book, The Empty Lot Next Door, there's a handprint. Because I chose a handprint because throughout the years, she would always try to get through the house. And if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, a lot of people did not lock their doors or even the windows. My parents even kept the keys in the car, you know, which was common back then. And she would always try to get through the windows, constantly trying to get through the windows. And so I would have to race, try to shut the window, and she'll get to the next one and to the next one and the next one and the next one. And our house was a little bit of a slope. So that side of the house, you had to be an adult in order to get up there. But she would have to jump and, you know, try to get into through the windows. So when I get ready to go to school the next morning, there would be handprints, little handprints on those windows all throughout the house, like dusty, like the screens, you know, where you just see and it will slide down. She's trying to climb up. So that's where that came from. So Candleface, I know that was a long-winded answer, but Candleface is that creature that was all throughout my childhood dreams for many, many, many years.
Do you when you say creature, is that what you feel that Candleface truly is?
I say creature, so somebody would ask me that question.
Oh, great. He set up the dummy. Great.
I set up the dummy. No, They don't know what she is, and that is really the premise of my series. Is like, what is she? Is she a demon? Is she a devil? I called her an alien before, and Mr. Smo, one of the people who was her disciple that I interviewed, got so angry at me calling her an alien. And that was live on the other network.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that other network was like, no, we don't want you on the show anymore.
Yeah, got him a little freaked out. So Mr. Schmo is a real person.
Well, I'm using a pen name.
Right. He's covering his identity.
Yeah.
That's fine. But they're real people. Everybody we kind of talk about has a real story, right? Even Candleface, right? Wasn't she believed at one time to be like a young girl in the area or something?
So I believed that what the kids told me back in the day, that she was somebody who there was a family of 4 that lived in that house, and the house burnt down and all 4 died. Okay. But the older kids, like my brother's age guys, they were saying, no, only a little girl died in the fire. But one of my other friends' fathers who lived there at the time says, no, it was a boy who died, like a 12-year-old boy. So I was like, well, what's what? Then I found out that my house was a duplex because we have 2 front doors. It's unusual. There's 2 front doors. And the house that burnt down was once the house, and my house was the empty lot before it was built. Okay. And so it's like everything is so confusing. What was the empty lot at that particular time? So nobody really knew, but I ended up doing some research. I had a friend of mine actually do some research when I was in Korea. And I says, can you find out about the house? Was there really a fire? But he got some information. But when I moved to Houston in 23, so about 2.5 years ago, I says, I'm going to do some research. That's what I did for 31 years. I'm going to find out. But I ended up finding out that there was a house and it burnt down in May of 69, but a whole family did not die. It was only a little boy about 8 months old that died.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, well, then who's Candleface? She didn't die in the family. And I found out that my house was not a duplex. So it was like, who in the hell is Candleface then? And so I said, that is what I need to find out. So I decided that I'm going to keep track of my research and put it in a journal. So I created candleface.com to keep track of my progress. And I think Candleface just got Wojo.
Yeah, Candleface just got Wojo. What's going on? Hey, you good? Yeah. Tough one, huh? A lot of snow around here. Excuse us. We were told we're getting 0.02 inch of snow, or whatever that is, 0.2 of an inch of snow, and it's like I shoveled 10 inches today.
Yes, 81 here in Houston.
Yeah, we know. Thank you. Yeah. It's 81 in Houston where Arthur is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look disheveled. You good? Do you need anything from me? Excuse me. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Well, that's Candleface.
Yeah, Candleface kick you out?
What just happened?
I know, you got tossed.
No.
Candleface don't like you.
God, dude, that
I didn't do nothing.
I know that was weird because I was like sitting there like this, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh man.
But that's interesting because the other network, people would say that when I was actually getting into Candleface, actual stories of her, a lot of people said that they've heard screams, other odd entities, and I tried to play back the series, and I couldn't hear anything, but others would hear it and they would talk about it.
Yeah. And now, I'm sorry, real quick. Anybody, if you go on and I think Maya just said that she just added it to Kindle, one of your books.
Yeah.
So that's great. So if you get a few extra seconds, write a nice review. That helps. It's kind of like us with the likes and all that stuff, and the emojis kind of getting the algorithm to work in his favor. So if you guys don't mind that, and you're right, Danny, it does suck. The snow is a joke. I'm done with it for this year. It's 81 where Arthur is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Go
ahead.
I guess my question to you out there is like when you saw this like girl climb out and started going to the tree. Well, two things I'm just like trying to like comprehend. Like, well, the color of the eyes, and do you think it was like an it?
I couldn't see the eyes. No, it was still a good distance away, maybe 20 meters or so. But it looked like dirty blonde hair. Yeah, I really just couldn't tell any facial features. In fact, I've never actually even really seen eyes. It was either like a glowing color or nothing. It just like hollow sockets.
Now, at that time in your life, is that the only apparition you've seen?
Not really. There was one particular time. So my brother Ricky, he's the one that was a year and a half older than me.
Mm-hmm.
He was really picked on by my older brothers and bullies all around the neighborhood, and they got to him so much that my brother committed suicide.
Oh man, sorry.
He was 12 and I was 11, and this was in 84, and he just couldn't hack it. So he actually hung himself in the empty lot next door. And he put a really nasty, suicide letter, and he had a bunch of poems, blaming people for everything. So the day of his funeral, all the cars are parked in front of the house, everybody waiting for my mother, because we're all going to go to the funeral home, which is only 2 blocks away. Actually, it was just right there. And so then go to the church, which is another mile, and then the funeral to the actual cemetery, which is another 2 miles, 3 miles maybe. And so I'm waiting for my mother. All of us kids are in our Boy Scout uniforms, or Cub Scouts, I was in the Cub Scouts at the time. And everyone's waiting, and my mother's still in the bathroom. She can't get out because she's crying too much to go bury her son. And so I'm outside her bedroom window, and I have my hands through the gate, and I'm petting my dogs through and so I heard a knocking on the window, and I'm thinking my mother's like going to get mad at me for petting the dogs, get dirty before the funeral. But I see what I believe is my brother Ricky, with swollen neck, pointing at me and beckoning me to come in, and looking angry. And I was like, no, I ain't seeing this. This ain't right. This ain't true. So I keep petting, and he's banging. And then a friend of mine next door, he comes over, and he's in his Cub Scout uniform as well, getting ready to go. And I says, I called him by his name, and I says, hey, do you see this as well? What do you see? I didn't want to say his name, and then all of a sudden he says, yeah, wink, wink, I see Ricky too.
Whoa.
So I said, what do you see? And he says, I see Ricky. That's Ricky. He goes, well, let's go in. I was like, yeah, I ain't going in there.
Yeah.
But he was like, let's go. So he and I went to my mother's bedroom, and then the bathroom toilet flushes, and my mother comes into the bathroom, into the bedroom, and so I asked my mom, I says, were you just banging on the window for me to come in? And she goes, no, I didn't do that. I was in the bathroom. And I says, well, I saw Ricky staring at me through the window. And so my mother was like, oh yeah, no, that was me. I wanted you to come in. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. But fast forward many, many years. So this is probably 2006. My real father, I ended up eventually meeting my real father, and he ended up passing away. And so I had to come to San Antonio to bury him. And so my mother and I was sitting at her house and near Austin, and I'm telling her about this, and she starts going crazy. She remembers this the day of the funeral, and I told her about seeing Ricky, and she's screaming, crying, and she says she remembers that she was in the bedroom, and Ricky came in and sat on her lap and says, "Mother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen like this, but I'm okay." And so then Ricky then starts banging on the window. And so my mother thinks what Ricky was trying to do was trying to get me to come in and be with my mother during that time.
Wow.
That is what we believe happened.
Yeah, that's wild. Because when you were telling that story, I got your mother saw him too. You know what I mean? And is this all right? So is this something that you have in your family? Is it ever been spoken of in your family? Clairvoyancy or mediumships or psychic abilities, gifts, anything at all spoken of? And I know it was a different time, and a lot of things were kept quiet. And it's fairly mainstream now. We can all just discuss it. So I get that point, but nothing whispers in your family. You know what I mean? Like I get a sense like your mom had a gift. You know what I mean? That's where I feel it's coming from for you.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody talk about it, and my mother wouldn't talk about stuff like this either. My mother has a goldfish style memory. It's like 7 years. After 7 years, she don't remember. She
Good for her.
rarely remembers anything.
I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing, if it's a medical condition, but it's kind of a good thing too sometimes. You know what I mean? I have an ex-wife. I'd like to borrow her memory if I could, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Just for a little while. I just want to be a goldfish. That's all. Just for a little bit. Nothing wrong with it.
I don't think, though, I have any kind of special ability. A lot of people say I do. I went through some mediumship training to try to home in on these skills. And during the training, they all told me the same thing. Oh, no, you do. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think.
Well, let the cat in the bag. What did I tell you?
Well, you think I do. I just need to learn it. I need to sharpen.
I told you, you're a clairvoyant. You see full body apparitions, and they try to communicate with you directly, like Class A sightings of Bigfoot.
But I think that's it, though. I think I'm limited to just those victims.
No, I think you're limited to your intellect. I think your intellect limits you. And I'm sorry to put it like that, but that's what I truly believe. I think I see this all the time. You watch somebody with high intelligence like yourself. It's like me, like when I'm out there, and like Susan Ahern said to me, you're looking for physical evidence, Rich. You're not paying attention to your body. You have a gift. You need to use it out here in the woods. But I'm looking for feet, man. Where those feet at? What's that, a structure? It's hard for me to take from the physical world and bring it in. See, now my body's telling me I'm right. My hair's standing up. I got goosebumps. That's the message that I'm receiving back from my gift to confirm what I'm telling you, bro. And if you can just get past that, no, not even past it, what you got to do, I call it 2 hallways. This is what I told myself after the conversation just a couple of weeks ago in the woods. Only way, because I'm all about fixing, like, problem solving, right? I'm a wicked problem solver. I'll look around the room and I MacGyver things. I do the same with my brain. So I gave myself 2 hallways. So I have my hallway over here. I live it every day, all the time. And then I have to leave that hallway. I have to physically get myself to leave that hallway. I have to believe it and feel it. I've left that hallway, and now I'm in this hallway. Yeah. Where are we today? And that helped me. You know what I mean? It's kind of looking at it, one eye is your whole life, and the other eye is your clairvoyance and your mediumship. You know what I mean? So you could kind of do it like that too, but physically put it in your head and physically live it. It'll help you, dude. And you're on a journey, bro. And I just want the best for you, brother. You're a good dude, and you are caught up in something.
But see, that's part of the problem is I'm just one person. And I think if you're right, and you're probably right, my intellect is what's keeping me down and preventing me from actually seeing what I should be seeing. So I would love if your audience would be able to, set me straight and say, "Hey, Arthur, duh, don't you see? It was just like what you said to me when we talked a few weeks ago. It was just like, you don't see it. It's right there in front of you. And if I can't see it, I want somebody to say, dude, it's right there. It's right there. So
and tell them, let's jump a little bit, because now that we're here, I'm kind of feeling it, and I want what's best for Arthur. You know what I mean? And I want what's best for you. You are in the middle of this, trying to figure out who killed who and all that stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you're talking to Mr. Schmo, right? Bring us to that point, and then ask the audience for the other help that we wanted to talk about.
Okay, so Mr. Smo, what a interesting character. So when I wrote The Empty Lot Next Door, there was a documentary on it in Austin. A lot of people saw it. It got quite a bit of airtime. People would drive around the neighborhood just to see the place, but they couldn't find it because now there's a house on the empty lot. And so people can't find it. But at the time they did. And a lot of people in the neighborhood absolutely hated it because it brought a lot of attention that they did not want. The guy, I had people trying to sue me, big mess. And a lot of people sent me emails back then saying, hey, I've seen Candleface. I've known the family that was killed in that house. But I was already on to something else, and I just blew off those emails. But 2.5 years ago, when I started doing the research, I brought those emails back. And so I contacted a few people, 2 elderly men, and interviewed them on the phone and went to their house. One of them, Mr. Smo, lives about 3 blocks from my childhood home. And so I interviewed him in his living room. He didn't want to be shown, so we put the camera up towards so you can see his ceiling fan. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see the interview. And the fan just circles around, and I had to change his voice to be a high-pitched voice because he has such a Darth Vader type of voice, and I had to change it up. And interviewed him, and he's 85, so he's pretty rough around the edges. He ended up kicking me out of the house. He says, "Get the F out of the house," because I asked him. I said, because he says that he's a Candleface disciple. He believes in Candleface, and he travels around on her behalf, telling how she is a compassionate spirit, that he helps people, that she helped him get off of drugs. And he actually had a revolver to his head, and she came from the shadows and says, "Don't do it. I can take your pain away." And so all his pain went away. And so he then went to Alcohol Anonymous meetings and went to where prostitutes hang out and taught about Candleface. And those that believed felt better, and those that did not were killed, like either mysteriously or through drugs. And so that's what he did for many years. And during my interview, I asked him, I said, well, how can a compassionate being kill non-believers? And he's like, "Get the hell out of my house. Get out of here." So he kicks me out. And then I had a second meeting, and this time it was on the other network. And the 2 main people were so freaked out because I could tell their faces. They were like really, really concerned because he's yelling at me because I mentioned, who is Candleface, just like you asked. And so I said, "Is she a ghost, a spirit? Is she an alien?" And he goes, "Alien?" And he starts yelling and screaming. But after that, he wanted to go back on the podcast, and he wanted to expose me as a fraud. He says, he calls me Ray, which was my childhood name, which is interesting that he knew that. But he could have got it from one of my books, whatever. But so he wants to go online and tell the world that I'm a fake, I'm a liar, and Candleface is a compassionate being, and I'm making up stories. But the other network says, no way, we don't want it. Nope. I went to all the other podcasts, all the others that are also on it.
Yeah.
And they said, nope, we don't want it. We don't want to do it.
So here you are.
So they didn't want anything to do with it. And I didn't have a big enough audience to do anything. And I was like, well, I want to do it. So finally I found somebody to do it. And then Mr. Smo died. He died. His brother, I didn't even know he had a brother, but his brother calls me up and says, his real name, my brother passed away. And and he has a few boxes in his room. And if you want them, you could have them.
Because nobody really knew this guy. He was a loner, right? He didn't have anybody else. He had his brother, and his brother wanted to get rid of his shit, basically.
Yeah, well, his brother even asked me if I wanted to claim his body.
Holy shit!
You want? And I says, no, I can't. I didn't even know him. I just
let's gather this in. So you're an investigative reporter. You're doing this report on this whole Candleface thing. As you're going through your investigation, you come across this person, Mr. Smo, who reached out to you to kind of get you there to tell a story. And now you're being asked to take his body and his belongings, basically. That's what's happening.
He reached out to me, though. It was like 16 years ago. And then I reached out to him this time. But I said, no, I can't. I know what he was trying to do. He wanted me to pay for the funeral. Because when you claim the body, you're saying, I'll pay for things.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But I ended up getting 3 boxes of a bunch of receipts and sticky notes with weird one-liner notes. I mean, just random stuff. He had a map, an old, I think it was like 1980, early 1980s Austin map with, you had to look really hard, but there's like little pencil marks all throughout, maybe a few hundred little pencil marks. And I don't know what those little marks are because I've been away from Austin for 30 years.
I know what they are.
Well, a buddy of mine was like, I think those are potential like murder scenes or missing persons. And then I did some research and I says, yeah, I think they are. So I ended up giving all of that stuff, the maps, and there was a jar of something, some kind of powder, but it ended up being gunpowder. It was about this much, and a bunch of other knickknacks. But I gave the maps to an attorney. The attorney finds out those were mysterious murder scenes. And so he then turns it into law enforcement. Law enforcement wouldn't tell me everything, won't tell me anything, but told the attorney that those are actual murder scenes. And so they are looking deeper into, did Mr. Smo have anything to do with it? Was he the one that was doing it? So I don't have any access to any of that stuff anymore, other than those receipts.
What did I tell you Mr. Smo was?
I don't remember.
Serial killer. Mr. Smo was a serial killer.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Allegedly.
Yeah.
How's that? Allegedly, potentially, possibly. Is that good? Are we legal now?
Yeah.
Mr. Smo, everything you told me that day, and when I was listening to, when I was failing, I'm like, okay, this guy, the reason why something of that, all right, I'll tell you what. I think Candleface is a demon. That's all I'm going to say. I think she attached to the murderer. The murderer brought it to the prostitutes. I mean, why wouldn't he go somewhere else? He had to go find the fallen. That's why, ones that would fall for this stuff. So that's the way I feel the story's rolling. This is true shit, man. You know, it's funny because when you were telling me this stuff, I physically was visualizing you walking around like writing your book. As an author, that's what I figured. I'm going to go to the next stop. Okay, I'm going to go to the police station. That's what I figured. Those are the questions I was going to ask the audience, but I just blurted it out. What do you guys think? Do you think Candleface was a demon? And do you think Mr. Schmo was a serial killer? And I thought that before you get to the next part, because the next part, the boxes are absolutely effed up. And do you have that special book that go with the boxes that you created, by the way?
Yeah.
Not right now. Not right now. Do you have it right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's going to blow your minds. So I want to know what the audience thinks as far as what I just said there. And I want you, if you don't mind, to go on to the boxes. And because that connection there is just wild. Yeah.
But now let me talk about the lost souls before the boxes, because the boxes ain't going to make sense.
Oh, the lost souls. All right, go. Yeah. Do your thing, man.
So when I started doing the research, when I found out that that there was a real house there and it burnt down, and it was a little boy that died in the fire named Paul, not a little girl who I called Candleface. So I was like, well, then I'm stuck on my research. I just solved everything in a few days. Can't do any kind of journal investigation on any of that. But I started having these odd visions. I go to sleep and I hear, almost like I was on an acid trip, like, sounds and, just lights.
How do you know what that is?
I don't know. I have older brothers.
Bullshit. But okay, go ahead. As you were. Carry on, soldier.
Carry on. So I ended up, as days and nights went on, they started getting clearer and clearer. And I could hear individual words, but I can't remember them by the time I wake up. And they got clearer and clearer and clearer until maybe a few weeks. And I could hear that they're screaming and like help and more words that I can remember, until finally, maybe after 3 weeks of nightly torments, that I can tell that these are voices that are calling out to me. And I assessed later that they were Candleface's victims, or people who were killed in the name of Candleface, maybe like Mr. Smo. And they were asking me to find their bodies and to locate and identify their killers. And if I have time, the first one, it's still pretty vague. I only got every few words, but the second one was really clear. And this is where I need your audience's help. Hopefully they're not a bunch of, pussies like, the other networks and stuff. Sorry, but
oh boy. No, I just like the ending of the other network is what made me so happy. But anyways, go ahead. I don't want to bask in that, but go ahead.
So the second one that came to me was a little girl, maybe 4 years old, a little black female, comes to me. And normally I sleep in the living room. I don't really sleep in the bedroom with my wife because she was down to 88 pounds, a survivor of cancer, and I don't want to roll over and smash her. So I sleep either in the living room or in the guest room upstairs. And I'm in the upstairs bedroom, and this little black girl comes up, kneels down, and she's asking me for help. She just wants me to listen. And she says that she grew up in Austin, and she was playing on her swing in front of her mobile home, and her mother was in her like washing dishes, looking through the window, watching her swing. So and keeping an eye on her. But now I missed one big part. So the day before, all the neighborhood kids were talking about a little girl in the area that was killed in a fire, and she kills those who don't believe in her. And so while the kids were telling that story, the mother runs out, "Don't try to scare my little girl." Right. And so that night, the little girl was like telling mommy, I don't, is she going to come after me? Is she going to kill me? And the mother's like, no, that's made up. People just make up stories to get people to, behave. And so then it's the next morning when she's playing on that swing and she hears like a puppy, like a hurt puppy behind the bushes. And so she goes, oh my God, I want to help that puppy. So she waits until her mom isn't watching from the window. She gets off her swing, goes across behind those bushes, and she sees the girl with the melted face, and she grabs her and takes her to her lair where she is being tormented by with other people just like her, all the non-believers. So she's asking me, she says, tell my mama and granny that I love her and that she really misses her. And she talks about her little teddy bear that her grandmother made for her. So I said this on the other network, and a buddy of mine that I haven't seen in many, many years was like, that sounds so familiar. So he did some research and found out that there is a little black girl that was older, like 6 years old, that did go missing in East Austin while she was on the swing. And her mother was vacuuming and was watching through the window, but she got to the other side of the room and went back and looked through the window, and she was gone. And so, and she lived with her mother. So it was Mama and Granny, which were the two, what other people have called her as well. So names match, times match, genders, races, all match. And I do have, if you go to the website, it shows pictures and who we think that child is. So out of 45 that have actually came to me, depending on how you count, it could be 49. Sometimes they came in pairs. I didn't really count them as pairs, but I think me and my readers and the viewers have identified up to eight different people.
8 victims, but
8 victims,
but no murderers.
I believe I know who at least 2 of those murderers are.
And you pass this information into the police department yet at this time? Or are you waiting?
I have, and they have not responded. But another paranormal investigative team in the Houston area have tried to contact one of the victims' families, and they actually contacted me back and asked me to stop talking about their relatives. So that particular story was another one where a female, I think this was victim number 11. When she comes to me, or when she came to me, she said that she was very, very young, but of age, I think 18 years old. But she had she's white, and she had a black boyfriend that was 29. And her family did not like the idea of having a older black boyfriend. And his family did not like the idea of having a very young white girlfriend. So nobody liked each other.
Right.
So they always had to go hide their relationship. And one day he kept saying to her, like, what do you think about Candleface? Do you believe in Candleface? And she was like, get out of here with that. I don't believe any of that. And so after trying to convince her that she's real and she will, Candleface would help her pain go away, they decided to hide at the hotel they always go to. And so he's acting a little fishy. He says, hey, some friends are coming over, and 2 other friends came over, and she's getting really freaked out. She goes, well, I'm going home. And they jumped her, injected her with something, and she passes out. And then she wakes up in a small little shed out in the woods somewhere.
You gotta stop talking. Every time you bring up a hot spot, he gets kicked. That's never happened here, by the way.
Yeah.
I get kicked, but he hasn't. No. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So so she talks about just being repeatedly raped throughout the days. People will line up all throughout the outside, just all taking turns. And then at the very end, she tells Candleface shows up, and she's there watching the whole thing while she's there. Candleface also participates, and then she tells the boyfriend to come back in, and then the boyfriend then stabs and kills her. And then that she tells me, if you can find the shed north of Austin, her body would be a few feet on the west side of that shed. So another listener from the other network was like, hey, that sounds familiar. And he says, that sounds like a case back in the early 90s, I believe, or late 80s, of a female that was had a 29-year-old boyfriend, and she was 18. And the last place that they saw her was in a hotel, and she disappeared under very similar circumstances. One more example. There was a couple. It was two people that came to me. It was a black male, black female, holding hands, came to me through my little sunroom in the back of the house, and they said that they lived in Houston, and the male was from Austin, and he was going to Austin to visit his childhood friend, and he was taking his girlfriend with him. And so they went to Austin. They're hanging out in the like downtown 6th Street, the party street. And by the end of the evening, they went back to his house, his best friend's house. And the three of them are getting high, smoking pot, drinking beer. And he kept saying, hey, what do you think about Candleface? And the Candleface, what is that? Making fun of him for believing in a ghost. They just kept, making fun of him. And so he gets pissed off, and he leaves out of his own house. And he comes back with three other friends, one with a machete, one with a tarp, and the other, whatever. And he lays the tarp down and tells the guy, get on the tarp. It makes cleanup easier. And so he's like, hell with that. And he tries to take off and run out the back and slips on a little toss carpet. And so that's how they were able to get him, and they sting him, or they zap him with a cattle rod.
Jesus. And
so they put him on the tarp, and then they axe him, his fingers, his arms, his legs.
Good Lord, dude. Wait. So they're telling you this, and are you seeing it physically? Are you able to see the event that took place?
No, I don't see the event, but I could picture it as they're.
So you're picturing as they're saying, but is there flashes coming in your head?
No,
not physically flashes.
Not at this time, but later on in the 40s, because there's 45 of these victims, right? And this was maybe number 6, I think. And so when they finish with him, and they're laughing and holding the girl down, says, your boyfriend was trying to leave you. He runs out of the back and leaving you. And so they axe her up as well, roll up the tarp, put them in his own car. And he says that they drive maybe an hour, and then they dump their bodies into a gravel pit. And they were asking me to find their bodies. And that's the way that they can be saved. That's the agreement that Candleface would relieve them from from hell if I can find their bodies. Now, people called me up, and I did some research, and part of the other network, I put a map on the wall, and I'm trying to do what I did in the Army, and looking at the clues. says that they drove an hour away from the apartment to a gravel pit. So I'm looking, if you're driving 60 miles per hour in the middle of the night, how far can you go? So I'm figured 60 miles. What is a gravel pit anyways? But Austin area has a lot of gravel pits where they crush big rocks into little rocks, or it could be, like whatever. So I just mapped things out, and up to an hour away, and I found some in Lockhart, Texas, which is an hour away. And some readers and the viewers were like, I think I know where that is. And so more research found out that there was a person, there was two people, black male and female from Houston, that did disappear in Austin. And they had a Dodge Charger that they found the Dodge Charger at the parking lot of a Greyhound station in Houston with his blood in the trunk.
Right.
So the police believe that they died in Austin, and the killer probably took the car back to Houston, and then took the Greyhound back to Austin to make it, to throw them off that they were killed in Houston.
Yep.
And come to find out that the police did interview this potential killer at his home, and the police did, or the two spirits did tell me that investigators skipped the blood in the kitchen.
What?
They said they did not see the blood, and that was their blood, and somehow they missed it. And they said, find that blood. Also, the guy that lived there worked in the gravel pit in Lockhart, the one that I identified. And that was an hour away. And so, but the police were already on that, and they did have cadaver dogs, and they did smell that the dogs did hit on bodies, but never actually found the bodies.
Interesting. And again, this is with your method that you're using, where they're coming to you, you're passing that information off onto viewers, that are going out there or in that area that are familiar with it, right? Or familiar with that area. Is everything in Texas?
Except for one. One was probably San Francisco. It was a female. Yeah. And this was pretty good as far as details. I just can't really remember the details right now, but it was a female that was going to the post office to mail some letters to a pen pal in San Francisco. And when she was coming back, she disappeared. And of course, that was I found out that this was a real case, and it was a female that was going to the post office, and nobody knows why did she go to the post office, but it was later on in the divisions is she had a pen pal, and she was trying to send the letters, and the pen pal was sending letters to the Austin friend saying, hey, I heard about Candleface. Send me information about Candleface. And she was like just making stuff up about Candleface. Oh, she's an evil ghost, and just making stories up. And so Candleface did not like that. And so she killed her for making up stories, and then also killed the friend as well. And
is Candleface involved in all of them?
Either she killed them or her followers killed them.
But she's involved in all of them.
Yeah, just like Mr. Smo was a follower, she had her human followers kill for them.
Right. All right. So you got something, Mojo? Go ahead.
It just seems like bad spirits are controlling the vulnerable to. It's just, I'm sorry, it's mind-boggling. It's incredible.
It is. It is mind-boggling.
Do you have do you have a physical map of like the areas that, of the missing?
Well, I have a digital map. Yes. I've kept, it's like a Google Earth type of thing. And I just put the little pins on those locations.
Only because I'm visualizing, like, I'm just kind of curious, like maybe like pinpoints of the missing, if there's a connection, like of the points of the areas that they're being,
Yeah.
Well,
no, I don't see it other than it's Central Texas.
Yeah.
Is
It's
the
different,
only,
different people. It's different
yeah,
people.
but it could be all over the place. And, those boxes that, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's important.
It helps to show that it's not just Central Texas, but it's the victims who came to me so far were all within Central Texas.
Yeah, and what they got? Wait, go, hurry up, go.
Just one quick thing. Do you think it's like
chain?
Huh?
What's up with the fucking chain on your neck? What the hell happened? You left and came back, Biggie Smalls? What the fuck? What are you fucking?
Yeah, I'm protecting myself.
Where did you get that chain, bro? Where'd you go to get that?
I've always had that.
What?
Always had that.
What? Where? Where'd you get that? Long Beach? What the hell's happening? I know. I got Mama's bag, but who bought you that chain?
Me.
You went into the store and said, "Yo, dog, I'll take that one right there." Like, what are you talking about?
I just, you know what?
This can't be
heavy,
real
it's
life.
Powerful, yes.
I'm not questioning the power, Biggie. I'm questioning the gold chain on my on my homie's neck right now. What the hell?
Hold on. Let me go get my Optimos. All right.
Oh my God.
It just seems like maybe like a satanic group. It just seems...
it's different. I think it's it's not. They're not all connected, right? They're not all saying. The only connection we have here is Candleface, right?
Right.
So far, yeah. And that's what I need you guys to help out, because I could do the investigative part, but I think there's much more to it. A lot of
sorry, Big Papa Pump's in the house. My bad. Sorry, dog.
Yeah. What you got?
Look at this. Where Arthur gets uncomfortable because we're having fun with this.
I know. No, but
seriously,
seriously,
hey, listen. This is our nervous energy, Arthur. Deal with it. We're your last hope, buddy. Nobody wants you. All right, Arthur. 2 questions.
Yeah.
One. Have the cops questioned you to be you're a serial killer?
That's funny because no, they haven't. But I've always figured I'm going to get that knock on the door because the victims that I've been able to identify, I post about them, and so I keep expecting that I'm going to get that knock on the door and says, "How do you know that? Where were you?" But I was in Korea, I was in Iraq, I was in Afghanistan.
Right. So the different times and years and stuff like that these people have passed. It's not all grouped up into one time frame and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, I got strong alibis. Yeah.
Yeah, and that tells me. And listen, I'm wicked big into serial killers. The only books I've ever really got into or stories I really got enthralled with was like the Green River Killer, and he was the one that blew my mind the most because. What saved him and what kept him, besides DNA and all that, but all the other ones like Ted Bundy and all that wasn't really DNA then either. But he had an IQ of 83. So he had, and pardon me, he had an abundance of common sense. The other guys were these high intelligent thinkers. So they became robotic and where they had to have a system, right? Yeah. They all had to have, he did not have to have a system. He would go back and move the bodies when the cops got close. The other guys were incapable of doing that because it was part of their system. So yeah, that's just something I want to say. So the other thing is the reason why I don't throw around the D word, lightly, right? And I mean demon, Benno, settle down. I don't throw that around lightly. That's just not something I throw around. I'm not everything's a demon guy. I've had apparitions in front of me. I know when there's malevolent ones. I understand that, I'm saying is that this is systematic, and this is something that not only that, what could help my case out there if you could actually tell everybody what was in those damn boxes that blew me right out of my seat.
Okay, so when Mr. Smo passed away, he had those 3 boxes, and there was a bunch of receipts, and on the back of those receipts was just like one-liner random thoughts, and it had some kind of cryptid type of numbering system, and it was just dots and dashes, almost like a Morse code. But later, it was a buddy of mine that said, "No, that's not Morse code." You know, I knew that, but it's not a Morse code type of thing. It's an Aztec number system. 1 is a dot, 2 dots, you know, and then it goes to 4, which is 4 dots, and 5 is like 4 dots and a dash, something like that. And so I figured out all these notes, and there was 704 of notes, and I put them in order from 1 to 704 as best as I could, and I think I got it done. But it still didn't quite make sense. I'm trying to put them in there, trying to make as much sense as possible. And I said, okay, well, it's not reading like in a stack, like 1, 2, 3, like put them in note cards format. Then I said, well, do they go downwards, sideways, backwards? And then I started putting it together, and my son, the math dude, was like, I think you're right. I think you got it this particular way. And so I came up with a story, and I think it's the background of Candleface. Who is Candleface? And based off of all of these notes. And according to the notes, now, if I could remind you, Mr. Smo wanted to expose me as a fraud and as a liar, and he wanted to identify who Candleface really is, like her real name. And when I was talking to some other paranormal investigators one day at a Mexican restaurant, I was talking about this, and one of them Googled Candleface and found a Facebook page called The Children of Isabel. And he says, well, Children of Isabel, and it had Candleface in there in the description saying that Arthur Mills is a liar. We don't believe in Arthur Mills. Isabel is a compassionate spirit. And so he finds it, and then I'm looking at it, and I says, Isabel, Candleface is Isabel. And that makes sense, because in those notes, it talks about Isabel, and it doesn't mention Candleface at all until later on, when I found out that it does actually say in those notes that he wanted to go after me because I gave Isabel the nasty name Candleface.
And can I ask you, because you didn't add it this time, when you open the boxes, right? Weren't they stored away in a very strange way?
No, not you're thinking of something else, but these 3 boxes were just in his bedroom, I suppose. You just said,
oh, the attic. It was wasn't there something in the attic?
Yeah, there's other boxes in the attic, but these boxes were with these notes were there, and I'll show you.
Who rolled them up though and tied them?
Those were already rolled up. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Weren't they rolled up?
Right.
These were rolled up and like kind of tied, right?
Rolls, yeah. But that you're getting way ahead.
Oh, am I all the way down there? I thought it was at this part.
No, not yet. No, because I found, so there's boxes in the bedroom, and then there were boxes in the attic.
Yeah, the attic. I remember you were looking through them because you went back and got more.
Yeah,
okay,
because
sorry,
the brother calls me and says, hey, there's other boxes in the attic. If you want them, come and get them. If not, I'm trashing them. Yeah. And there
now you're like, yeah, I'm on my way. Where's the body?
Yeah. But when I put those notes together, I came up with this, and I need to send you one of these.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh,
but I named it based off of what Mr. Smo called it, and it was just Isabel.
Sure.
And
Show them the inside. Show them the inside.
So it is, I believe, and what Mr. Smo is saying is Isabel is the forgotten daughter of La Llorona, which is the famous spirit in South Central America and throughout the South Texas, where she's the lady who drowned her two sons to get even on her husband, who she caught cheating. And she loved those two sons, or the husband loved those two sons, so she took them down to the river and drowned them. This book says there was a third child that was drowned, and it was a female, an older daughter. She is drowned with the two boys, but people forgot her. They didn't talk about her. They only talked about the two boys. And those are the 704 notes. And if you look at it, you don't turn the book like pages. It's individual notes that you turn.
Your
So
left
if
a little
you
more. Move that to your left, your other left. Yeah, there you go. Are you guys getting this? You got to you touch the tabs, and they all tell a different story. Now your son is a PhD mathematician, right? And what did he tell you? How many stories are in that?
Well, if you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books, you could have maybe 20 different endings. So my son says that there are 34 Treszetilian versions, which is it's 79. It's a 3.4 with 79 zeros. Wow. He says that there are more stars in the observable universe than this. And he also says, I don't know how he figured it out, that if every living human and every human who has ever lived would have to read 95 straight years with no rest to be able to read this whole entire book. So it's impossible. There's something like 200 billion people who has ever lived on Earth. Every 200 billion has to read 95 straight years in order to finish it.
Right. And something like that to me comes up with the D word. And I'm sorry, but somebody to have all this set up like this, and this was in Mr. Schmo's house with his notes that you guys deciphered and made this your you realize you were chosen, right? Between your intellect and what you did for 31 years in the military and what your son does, and you understand that. I hope so. And I want to help you understand that. This is not something that just, circumstance. Here I am. I'm an author. That's why. No, dude. No, dude. You are the right make for this.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why?
I have the whys all the time, buddy. I'll tell you why. Kerry Lynn Shellhorn told me why. Why? Right? Why what? Why you? Right? Why me? Right? Don't we?
Well, not even why me, but why? No. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of me?
What do you mean, what's the purpose? Because there's bigger things in life. It's called lost souls that were taken that need answers, man. We all have a job to do. We all have a task. We all have a journey. I'm living my journey right here in front of everybody. They're living it with me. Well, guess what? You are now living it with me, buddy. You know what I mean? You have a journey in life, dude. Right? Your journey in life, your reason is to help them. You know this. I know you know this. You're looking at it as a physical author. That's the thing, is you're an author. Here we are with the physical again. You're an author. This is a great book, right?
But sort of. But that's not really the purpose, though.
I know that. That's not the point. I think
the reason I was chosen is because I have a history with Candleface, and I have the capability to write.
Yeah.
And I've written about her before.
Right. And you think that triggered it?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
I just don't agree. And that's fine, because you're going to be in a situation like this where you're going to have respectful debate with one another. This is not something that's just going to pop into your head.
Well, I'm not here to have a bunch of mini-me's, so it would be cool to, I'm okay with discontent.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's healthy. I think there's something like this where you have that conversation and say, hey man, you're chosen for this path. This is a path. This is not, you're picked because, like, I picked Wojo as my co-host. I rattled my brain forever. Suddenly I wanted to give up half of my creation. I wanted to rip it out of my body that I created, that I loved, that I had passion for, that I used as therapy for the death of my son, and give it to somebody else, bro. Right? Why did I do that? You know when I found out why I did that? About 3 months ago when we were standing in the woods and there was biblical reasons why I was looking at what I was looking at. I ain't been to church a damn day in my life. Who's at church? Who's in church all the time? Wojo. That's why he was chosen as my co-host long before that moment. Do you understand what I'm saying, you brother?
Yep.
That was chosen. I still rack my brain like, why did I get that feeling? Just to, here you go. All right, give it to somebody else. It's not because of anything to do with a podcaster. Nothing even to do with the research. It's to do with your life's journey, your path that you were chosen for, bro. And we got to try to get you out of that physical because you're a gifted dude. You have crazy gifts.
And what makes a church is people. I mean, the church doesn't mean a physical form of
No, but history. History of the Bible.
Right.
History of religion. And what were we doing? We were studying this stuff. It was coming up. Was it not coming up roses every time we read something or researched something? And it had to do with the biblical. I didn't know anything about that. You're the one who brought it to me. I wouldn't have that moment. My son is out there. I know my son's out there because of that moment we had that night. Me, you, and Andy. We know that. That's a resting spot in the journey. Okay, it's kind of like when you play a game, this long game, Zelda or something, right? You got to get that save spot where it saves it for you, or you lose all your information, right? So once you get to that checkpoint, you get to say that was a checkpoint for me, and I know that now, and it has nothing to do with being, a medium or a researcher or any. It has to do with something way more divine than myself. And I think that's where you got to kind of twist your way out of, because it's such a remarkable, crazy feeling, man. And I like what Kurt says. It sounds like a continuation from a past life. There was things that were happening in your past life that brought you to this point. You guys, you have the resources around you, like your son, for instance, with that book. I don't know. Do we call that a book? What do we call that?
I call it a book.
I
don't know.
That is you. You put that together, right?
Yeah, I physically put it together, but it was written by Mr. Smo.
Mr. Smo, a guy who's an 80-year-old nothing, never achieved nothing in his life and died by himself in a bedroom somewhere that his brother wanted to give it a body because they couldn't afford to get rid of. Has all that information? Come on, man. That is systematic demon absolute. That's what they do. That's what they do. So, but the main thing here is you find the cause, you find the victims, you find who killed them. And basically you get rid of Candleface is done. And she knows it. She knows it. And did he tell you her name? When you asked Mr. Schmo, what was her real name? What did he say?
Oh, no, I never asked. It didn't even occur to me. But until he said that he wants to get on the other network and expose me as a liar, and then he wanted to identify who Candleface is, but we never got to it because he ended up dying before that. So he was never able. But it was the other paranormal investigator.
He ended up dying because he was going to reveal her name. You can't reveal a demon's name. It's just classic it's textbook. Yep. It really is. Not to mention that when you go up in the attic, I'll tell everybody because we're prolonging that shit. He found like crazy ass scrolls upstairs. This guy wrote down story. He knew everything about every person on that map that you checkmarked, correct?
Yeah, but now that map was just Austin, but there was 3,455 of these scrolls, and I call them scrolls, but there was. Here, let me show you one.
Watch this. You tell me Mr. Schmo, a complete junk bag with nothing in his life, Really, I've been there. I know there was nothing. You don't learn things like this when you're living that lifestyle. You just don't. You just don't.
This is what he had.
Look at this. What the hell? Oh, he's got that gimbal.
I'm gonna have to hold it. Now, this is computer printed, so he printed this on this paper.
Look at it. It looks like parchment paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, demons live for thousands of years, so hey, there you go. There's some old parchment paper. I don't know. I'm just crazy. He did it for cinematography, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, he was a very creative fella.
Yeah, and the printer was up there too, and it had all the dust. This paper is very dusty. And I even put a little QR code thing on there so I can keep track of each person.
He has a QR code library.
No, I put the QR code on there.
I know you did, bro. You're unbelievable, man. Now tell me, no, don't you put that down. If I'm gonna run overtime, you're gonna give me a little synopsis of what's on that piece of paper right there. Just read it out. Don't say nothing to nobody. Just read it. Because that's what you did to me.
All right, so you want me to read the whole thing?
No, just a paragraph.
Okay, the first paragraph says, "My name is Crystal." Now remember, I didn't, this is what I found, just like this, right? "My name is Crystal. I worked the corners of North Austin, downtown too. People knew me, asked me by name. I took no crap from anyone. If you hit me, I hit back. He was a regular at first, quiet, paid well, said he wanted to save me, said I was different, said he wanted me to be his wife. I heard that before and it never ends well. He started talking about her, Candleface, said that he was one of her disciples, that it was his job to bring her the non-believers, said if I didn't believe, she'll deal with me personally. I laughed in his face. He didn't laugh back." And then it goes on from there.
Right. He knows everything about them, where they go, what their lives are, all kinds of things. Because Mr. Schmo, not only is he a brilliant man, an amazing man with plenty of accolades, apparently he's Nostradamus too.
Yeah. I guess.
Sorry, man. I'm not getting off it. You know what I mean? That's where my angle is. That's where it will take me. I'm going to sage my studio every night we talk right afterwards. Sorry, I'm going to. And nothing towards you. You don't smell or anything. Wojo might. But we're gonna, something like that. I get passionate about it. You can feel my. I'm like, well, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, this. This is something that. How long has this been going on in your life, bro?
Once I started doing the research, just a year, 2.5 years ago.
So 2.5 years you've been going hardcore with this. And 2.5 years ago, the apparition showed up in your sleep. Is that what you're saying? Or have they been around longer? I'm going to bet longer, but go ahead. You say it.
No, I would say 2.5 years. But of course, Candleface, that was when I was a child. And that stopped by 6th grade. And I thought everything was done.
You remember your dreams, Arthur?
What's that?
Do you remember your dreams?
Not so much anymore.
But
now that I'm older.
You used to remember them, right?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, but now
vividly.
As I get older, it's a little harder.
What are you getting at, Rich?
He has dreams that he's had his whole life that he knows and that he remembers vividly in color, in detail, left, right, up, down, all that little intricate details. And now they're clogged up because this is consuming him. And that's the bottom line.
So have you ever talked to Dee Dee at all?
He's had these dreams about people before. Guaranteed.
No, I haven't talked to him. No, or her.
Dee Dee Jabril. She's
Jabril.
Yeah, you know her.
Dreams interpretation.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, she's one of the ones that I asked many times, and
well, she was probably under someone's spell. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. We can handle that. We have connections around here. But the other thing is too is that we have good friends around here that mediums and things like that we can talk to. To me, I see you as somebody, and I truly believe that you've had plenty of dreams that you just you chalked up as dreams, and they weren't dreams. You know what I mean? And now that you're here and you did get into, as an author doing a book, right? It starts triggering things, right? You're over in what you say, Korea, and you're asking your buddy back here to look up information. So you're thinking about it over there. You can't tell me you didn't dream about it. You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is. the acceptance is key, right? When I got clean and sober in 97, that's one of the things they told me the most. Acceptance is key. I'd be like, accept what? Accept everything's my fault, and every time I pick up a drink, it's my fault. You know what I mean? I was like, no. But I did. The acceptance was key. Once I did that, I was free of my demons. You have to accept the fact that you're gifted and it's not just an investigation anymore.
Well, if I am gifted, it actually helped when I was doing missing persons and human trafficking investigations for 9 years. I did a lot of them, and I was very successful. I found a lot.
Wow, that's weird. Wow, that's so weird. How did they choose? How did you get here, Arthur? What did you just say? Could you say that out loud again for the audience? You did what for a living?
Human trafficking and missing persons investigation.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Good.
I was just very successful.
Of course you were. You're psychic.
No,
dude, listen.
I
When
was
you
just a good investigator.
you're a damn good investigator, but when you wrote something down and you got a gut feeling, I went with my gut. How many times you say that?
Yeah.
No. Answer the question fairly. Don't try to deter because of the point I'm trying to make.
I've never said that. No.
Never to yourself, not once.
No.
Stop. I ain't buying it.
Because I like to think that it's my ability as an investigator that determined the locations of the people, not necessarily a psychic ability.
And there lies the problem, like I said. When I'm looking down at a footprint, I'm looking at physical evidence as a researcher, right? Yeah. And my medium friend came to me and says, that's what's clogging you. That's what's blocking you up. You're not paying attention to your physical reactions, right? Your body telling you you're right or wrong, your stomach spinning, your goosebumpies, truth bumps, they call them, different things like that. If you can get in tune with that, I'm only being adamant about it because I want you to, this is your life. Now, this is your life thing. You're never going to stop doing this. Right, Arthur?
No.
Right. Never. Right. It ran so much. You went down the list. You see me, you know me. We've always been very cordial, right?
Yeah.
And you see my audience, right? That's what you said to me. You saw my audience, didn't you? Yeah. That's exactly what you said to me. And I wonder if that audience would be the ones to help me.
Yeah.
Right. So what my point is, this is a lifelong journey, man. And you're deep into it, and you've come to the place where you think you can get the most help. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the most help that you'll probably get is you, but I'm in. I'm going to help you.
I went to medium training in San Marcos, south of Austin. And it's almost like, why build a network? Why learn a skill when there are already people out there that have it? Why do I want to go out and learn something when I have you, I have your audience that can help me? I'm wasting time if I'm going to try to learn the skills myself. You got so many people right now that's responding that I would love for them to hear, if we do this again and get more details on different lost souls that I don't know their locations, and get that information out, and other people can start researching and we can figure this out. But if I went out and try to figure myself out, looking at myself and do it all myself, I'm wasting time.
And I'm not saying I'm telling you to go out there and pack a lunch, bro. I'm saying that you really need to look internally. You'll get such a boost out of that. It'll help the whole thing. The intellectual thinking again. Nobody's asking you to learn nothing, because you don't have to necessarily learn it. You just have to be triggered. You just have to be reminded. Your body already knows. Your soul and your mind already knows what its abilities are. You're just clogging it down with information.
Well, okay, like Star Wars, Luke Skywalker.
Well, there's a shocker. He brought up Star Wars, but go ahead.
Didn't he say something
Feel
like,
the force.
Like, Phil, it's been in you all this time, but it took him the whole movie to figure out that he didn't need the force was always in him. I don't want to waste years trying to figure out that it was always in me. Let's not waste the time. an audience to figure it out, like internet sleuths to go out and try to figure out who these people are, identify the killers. I could, okay, great. I could do it myself, but instead of doing it and taking years.
I don't want you to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't say that, because that's not what I meant. What I meant was you're your biggest tool right now. You have so much ability. It could how about this? I'm not a high intellect. Sorry. I used to be more of like a chain wearer. I'm just kidding. What up, Biggie?
Hey, listen, this thing kicked out twice. That's what scared me. I'm like, all right.
No, I don't blame you. I haven't been kicked out since, so I put it back on.
Ever.
I'd put it back on. But I just think you kind of going in with a little bit and helping, giving a little bit of boost and respecting and loving your gift that you have. I think it would help everybody and help the whole cause. I'm not saying go to college again, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, open yourself up. Just open your mind a little bit. How's that? While you're reading these cases, just go down that other hallway I told you about. Just leave the hallway of QR codes and, trillion page book endings and all that. Just leave that for a little bit. That's all you got to do. That's it. Nature. Think of nature. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's it. That's all you got to do. And you'll start gradually just kind of opening up. And you'll start trusting yourself more. And I think through this process, with all these amazing people on the side, I'm going to tell you, a lot of these people on the side are sensitives as well. And whether they know it or not, they are. And a lot of them do know it. You know what I mean? So, this is a different type of show for me. I wanted to, after you came to me, I wanted to, because I have been digging deeper into, my abilities and my gifts. And I wanted to open up more. And something like this is a great exercise, so to speak. And I don't mean to belittle the victims or your story. That ain't what I mean. If I'm turning it internally, it's going to help me open up a little bit more. And I'm going to reach out to like Susan Ahern or Kerry Lynn Shellhorn, who are kind of like mentors through this process for me, Yeah. And Kerry Lynn, by the way, said to me, "You're gifted. Shut up and get on with it." You know what I mean? Like, just get over it. And that's the way she put it to me. And because I said to her, why, comma, why me? You know what I mean? Why? Two questions, right? Basically. And that's what she said to me. And sometimes that's what you need to hear, bro. And it's okay. And we're going to help you through your process while we're all researching. Now, you talked about having a link for a page, right? Or a page. You have a page up right now?
Yeah. Well, you can find everything about.
Just on your regular, like, Arthur Mills page?
Yeah. Candleface.com. Well, then.
Oh, that's one. I remember that one.
Yeah. And that one will then leak to all the others under my name. Yeah.
Arthur, it's like our research. Okay.
Good Lord, Arthur. Give me a warning.
I'll watch out for Candleface.
Christ. Oh, God. Sorry, Wardlow.
Just all you can say is slow your mind down, keep it simple. And it's like our research out there. When we're out in the woods, we're trying to process the lights that we're seeing and things like that. Things that we're hearing in the woods. It's the process that we have to just slow it down and take little pieces at a time, because now, we have our audience that we do our lives, and now they're part of the research, and all we can do is just take things slow and have the critical thinkers right there with you. Yeah. And like I said, it's going to come. It's just patience, and it's going to take a lot of it. It's just that we have to slow ourselves down a little bit and work your way through.
Sam, if you're still out there, can you grab me that link? I am going to type it in to Messenger. So this is what we're going to do. All right. We have a good foundation of the story. We have a good foundation of your goal. Is there anything else you want to add before I kind of do a wrap and explain to people where we're going to go next?
No, that's about it. I think we covered it.
You feel good with that? Yeah. You don't mind. You like my audience, but you're not so fond of me. Is that what you're saying?
I like the audience. I like the more serious nature.
Yeah. Well, no, we are. It's just it's always good.
I'm dead serious. I mean, I wasn't doing this for a gimmick. It's just that I got kicked out twice while you were talking about Candleface. Twice.
Right. So candleface.com.
To me, it's a sign.
Yeah. So candleface.com, you said, believe it has an email. It says contact me on there, right?
Right.
What? Branch and Plot Books? What the hell's that?
Well, that's before Candleface even came up, the books that I wrote prior was under Branching Plot Books.
Oh yeah, no. We're going to show plenty of his books coming up. Don't worry about that. We're going to have some. I'm going to have some on my sites too. By the way, on my Facebook and all my socials too. Arthur, my TikTok. I'll have them all up there so people can see your links and stuff. We're going to start a little partnership. I think if you seem all in. I'm all in. You know what I mean? I don't know how Wojo feels. He's
dude, you got me hooked.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So we look at it. If you're battling anything like for instance in Wojo, I'm going to bring it up. The church, religion, beliefs, anything like that. It's an investigation for humans, right? And you could just leave it at that. And like Arthur says, he's an investigator and a damn good one, right? Look at all the places he worked, military, intelligence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant human. And I loved sitting with you, talking with you that day. Remember, we got on for a few minutes. I think it ended up being quite more than a few minutes.
Oh, yeah. It was like 2.5 hours.
Dude, I just love, because I love picking the brains. And I just love going, wait, what? It was just an amazing conversation.
Well, I talked 2 minutes and you talked like 2.5 hours.
And the bad thing about it is be like, he's lying, guys. No one's buying my shit. Oh, I was so intrigued by it, and I already knew some of the story out there. I already watched some of your stuff and looked into you before, but I hadn't thought about it in a long time. And then when you came back in and really, really kind of went towards my audience, I thought that was so respectful. And I know these guys and ladies and guys. And Wojo, is this not right up their alley? Like, think about this.
Yeah.
Like, Sam, you think that's Richie?
I mean, I'm just looking at. I mean, all of them. I mean, they are so intrigued. I mean, you even got Tim Vogel, got his mind blown.
He did ask, I think, about the first time with Candleface. He asked if she was on all fours or upright or something.
Yeah.
When you saw her.
She climbed up. She was on
all fours.
She was on all fours.
Yeah.
Trying to climb up the tree to stand herself up, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, Brandy, you're in. So, listen, when you guys go over and contact Arthur, do me a favor in the subject, if it's an email. I think, do you have a messenger for this, though?
A messenger?
Like Facebook. Not a little.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page. Candleface.com or the Facebook, and then look for Candleface.
All right. I think I'm already on that, actually. So let me just punch, because I just want to kind of get the synopsis out. I'm going to explain to everybody what's happening, and then I'm going to go put children to bed so I can be an adult for a little while.
Yeah.
Which I'm not an adult, so don't worry.
But, there's one more thing I want to bring up that I
bring up anything you want. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in Austin, they have a potential serial killer that has dumped, I think, 22 or so bodies in Lady Bird Lake. Which is a lake that goes through Austin, Texas. Being from Austin, I hate the name Lady Bird Lake. I use Town Lake. That's what all the new guys, the new guys there call it Lady Bird Lake, but people call it Town Lake. But I call it Lady Bird Lake, but that's what the news is saying. So there's all these bodies that have been found throughout the years, dumped into the river. Well, probably 20 or 30% of those 47 that came to me were drowned victims in the lake. Either they were drugged or dragged in there by somebody or Candleface or something. And I came to the conclusion that Candleface was the serial killer. And on my blog, I have several very in-depth research where I went to the 1960s looking at all the different deaths. And my assessment as of now is Candleface could have a hand in all that, because first she was drowned. That's how she died. And now she's drowning others.
Interesting.
Just like how she drowned.
Yeah. I know. I think that's very interesting, and I think when I say a messenger, right? Messenger group. So in other words, you go from yours and add people to a messenger group. So it's in real time. Otherwise, you're going to get separate messages from a bunch of different people, right?
Yeah.
If we're all in there conversing, you can actually scroll back after and read the thoughts and theories and ideas or any physical evidence they might have come up with. You know what I mean? In one big messenger. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
what I think is probably going to be best for the situation. So we'll work that out, and we'll send that out to if we put something that together like that. I will reach out to people and we'll put something together for a messenger. But it's going to probably come from your Candleface page.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we could do something like that.
Okay. I just think because it's real time. You know what I mean? And I got to tell you, man, Kurt, you can vouch for this. Kurt, I'm sorry. Did I joke too much for the serious subject? I apologize. Wojo came back with a gold chain, bro. A big, thick gold chain. What am I supposed to do? Ignore it? Just ignore it? Look at that. Come on, man. Easy on me. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think in real time. And these guys, I'm going to tell you a lot. Kurt, you'll vouch for this. Andy and Denny even. We have our best conversations at midnight, man. When everybody's quiet and it's just, we get to do our, hey, I send in a picture and all of a sudden it starts tweaking the brains and they start going off. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. JT, God bless, man. Thank you so much for your input.
Arthur, can I just throw something at you? Just kind of curious.
Sure.
Is that that these bodies that they've been finding, what are the dates in between?
Is it rapid fire or what are we thinking?
No, it's not really rapid fire. It could be days, weeks, months, a year apart. But in Houston, it's more. It's over 100 bodies right now that's been found in Houston rivers. But I don't know anything. I have no connections, whatever, to Candleface on those. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it is.
Nothing draws to you there or anything just.
No, it's none of the victims from Houston,
no ties whatsoever.
Yeah. So
that's
how come no one doesn't put any set up cameras or anything I'm just saying.
Well, I know in Houston they have, and Austin they have started doing that as well, but they can't find anything other than the bodies just washing up.
Yeah, that's wild. D Hoot says something about Buffalo Bayou ?
Yeah, in Houston. Yeah.
Okay, she's on to it. D Hoot's going to be one of your best students, sir.
Yeah.
Her and Sam together, they'll be going back and forth. Well, you came to the right place for sure. So this is what's going to happen, everybody. We're going to work out some scheduling. Sam, I was hoping you might help me with this, seeing how, the name Sam's pretty paranormal. And even Amanda, if she wants, I'd like to get everybody in on it. And we're going to have author updates, right? And that's what we're going to do. And what we were thinking about doing, because Arthur's schedule and things he's got going on, rather than having a full-blown podcast, we did discuss maybe monthly you coming on and going through everything that you've collected, having an hour or two of your own. You know what I mean? I think that would be wise. But in the meantime, you brought up the idea of perhaps at the end of the show, depends on who's in on it. It's their show. It's up to them. 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the night, like an editorial type thing from Arthur, where he gives updates. You also want to do this one at a time, and we discussed doing it one at a time and perhaps 4 weeks per. For starters, it could evolve into you're getting so close you don't stop. You know what I mean? You don't know that, but you do got to put an end game on it so you can move on too. And then come back to it if you have to.
Yeah.
So we could do something like that, but it's going to evolve. Maybe we have 3 people on one and 3 people on another and 3 people on another, and we do teams and we do things like that. And it's something that's going to be ongoing. And this ain't a game show. This is real life, man. This is real. This is his life too. And it's consuming him, And how's your wife feel about this? I think I asked you that when we were talking, how's she feel about all that,
She's not really a fan. No.
I love that.
she's not a fan of it. Because we're Christians, and this is not a Christian thing.
Yeah, I understand
her.
that.
So she rolls her eyes. And she said, "Oh my God, here we go." But
right. But it's in you, and you have it, and they're talking to you, and that's that. Short clips like that would be good for TikTok. Yeah, and I think that's a good idea. Maybe again, it's going to evolve, but coming in the next few weeks, we're going to have editorials from Arthur. We'll get our first name. I say we give it 2 weeks from this point, the 21st. Say we get our first name because we got to draw everybody together, get a messenger, and really get it going. Is that fair? Is that okay with you?
Yep.
I know we want to go. We want to get going yesterday, but everybody on the side, we definitely need you for this. It's something that Arthur watched you guys, and he didn't pick me because trust me, he ain't going to that dude. But his audience, man, this smart. And I don't blame you, brother. But it wasn't a coincidence. Look I haven't worn this shirt in over a year, and Arthur sits down and he has the old Jackson shirt on. Look at mine's all. I had the green screen. I couldn't wear it. You could just see through me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's no coincidences, right? Got some and he's wearing a gold chain. OG Jackson's in the house. What's up, OG? But we're gonna roll out for tonight. I hope you guys took all that in. You're probably gonna have to take notes at some point. I told you it was gonna blow your mind, and it's mind blowing. And we have to keep in mind too, though. This is this man's life. He's got to go to bed tonight. When's the last time you got a visit?
Oh, it's been maybe October, which is a whole new thing. When I start talking about the fugitives, the lost souls who came to me hiding, and now I got these 31 that have been hiding, and I got them in scrolls. And so now I was like, "What? You remember that?" I talked about other paranormal investigators are saying, "Hell no, I don't want anything to do with that."
Yeah, they don't.
And so it's just like I see the paranormal community constantly saying, "Oh, Ghost, where are you?" Their YouTube videos, show yourself. But yet I talk about ghosts, and they're like, "Run for the hills!"
This guy's nuts. Yeah, trust me, I know. I stood in front of that.
What I'm nuts is that they don't want to deal with a real demon, a real
whatever it might be. Yeah,
they want to sell T-shirts. They want to sell coffee mugs.
And there is a lot of that in all research fields, unfortunately. You know what I mean? And
a real thing comes over, and no, they don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I know. And just so you know, it's not an insult. We actually are crazy, so deal with it. All right.
Yeah, there's something.
Embrace your weirdness, brother. So listen up, everybody. Watch for that. That's going to be coming out. We'll put a 2-week line on it as far as the first name goes. We have a lot of work to do. I'll send invites or whatever it might be. If you don't want it, you're shy away from this, that's okay. No disrespect, none at all. Nobody's offended by that. We got you. Understood. You've been called upon, though, by somebody observing you and how you do things. So pretty kick-ass team we have. Elder, you're an amazing woman, too. Please pray over all of us, by the way. Thank you. Wojo and I are going to try to get back out in the woods for a live coming later in the week. I saw a warm-up, Wojo. So once it hits that 40 degrees, man, we can start dropping 6 inches a day. So that'll be nice. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Got to get back out to that chair and see our friends. Absolutely amazing stuff, Arthur. Thank you for sharing this very personal story with all of us. And we will all take it very seriously, and we'll get to work very, very soon. So other than that, everybody be safe tonight. Say a prayer, right? Get a little bit of sage going on, a little bit of holy water, whatever your thing is, right? Whatever they do over in Australia, let me know. And we'll be back next week. I just want next week, after this very busy week, I kind of going to slow it down a little bit. And next week, I want to go into some of the things that Wojo and I have that we haven't really shared from the most recent investigations. Because there's more stuff in your phone that we haven't really talked about. I know that because I remember it because I was watching the live. And there's more stuff in the live that can be clipped too. I think we got to get geared up and really get back into our research. So from this winter weather. So Arthur, you're going to hang around while we say goodbye because that's just how I do it. I do it here. You can wave, you can get up, move around, and make your camera do fun things. But I want to thank everybody for being here. As you know, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Hit that notify button. I told you I was going to bring you something, right? And if you combine the last 3 nights, brought you a lot. So get those minds working for me. We're going to talk very, very soon. Tuesday night is the home of the boom. Who's on your show, Wojo?
We have the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Nation.
Mike
Ohio,
Nation will
Eastern
be.
Ohio.
That's amazing. Mike Nation will be Wojo's guest on the home of the boom. Amanda Lombardo is 8 to 9 on Wednesday night. Phantom Navigator. And, of course, our lovely producer, the amazing, the best ever, Sam from Sam's Pretty Paranormal Podcast. Friday night at 9 o'clock. I believe she's returning live. Hopefully she's feeling better. I want to thank Coley and SNX Radio for your representation. Thank you. Maya, thank you. Welcome to the family. That's
Welcome
amazing.
to the family.
Who was that? Poncho, by the way, said he was making dog
Poncho,
food.
yes.
You making dog food?
9 pounds. 9 pounds.
9 pounds of dog food, Wojo. It's like that. That's like what you got on your neck. You got 9 pounds on your neck, bro. And use a dog, yo. Don't do it. All right, that's enough. I got to get out of here. I just want to say I love you, baby Jack. I love you, mama. I see you, Ella. Everybody keep climbing, man. Wojo, get us out of here because that's what you do.
All right. Well, thank you all for being on here. And to the victims, seriously, to the victims' prayers. And yes, we are home of the boom. Let's go.
Hey, you know what I did? I just looked at the date, dude, and I realized Gene Tewksbury's show is premiering next Sunday night. I was like, I thought it's still the 1st of February. Gene Tewksbury, are you ready? What the hell?
Are you ready?
Next Sunday night at 6 p.m. Oh, my God, I can't believe it's here already. Gene Tewksbury, Ghost Cats and Cryptids with Gene Tewksbury. It's gonna be your first show. Make sure you guys get ready, please, please, please. It'll be up. Hit notify. Everybody get in there on Sunday night, 6 p.m. and help Gino. Lift her up. Do what we do. Keep climbing. Thank you, everybody on the side. Let's go. And we are home of
the Patriots. Let's go. Super Bowl.
Let's go. What's that? I can't hear you, Arthur, from way down there. Bunch of winners speaking. No,
Seahawks.
Hold on. What was that, Arthur?
Seahawks.
Whoa, Patriots! Yeah! Super Bowl! Ugh.